welcome to Trampolining. I'm Lara.
And I'm Libby.
And we are going to be covering what is happening. So we'll start by just running through how everything is going to work today. So for trampolining, every person will do 2 routines. The first routine is set and the second routine is a vol.
Yeah, and in the set routine, everyone does the same 10 moves, and then in the voluntary you can make up your own routine, but yeah, there's limits to how difficult you can make it within each category, and there are, I believe, 7 categories today, ranging from novice up until like really advanced moves. So you start with the lowest is Newt 6, then you go Newt 5, Newt 4, up to Newt Uber, which are the highest levels, and they'll be doing doubles today.
So we'll be starting with Newt Uber and Newt 1, who will be starting to warm up in a minute. And these, again, are some of the higher levels, so there'll be a lot more different tricks in their routines.
Yeah. So yeah, they'll start their warm-up. They'll probably each get around 5 goes on the trampoline, and then we'll move on to one touch, where they all do a single routine, and that's kind of their final routine before they go in front of the judges. And then after that, they'll one by one do their actual thing, and they'll be scored out of 10. We'll go through how the scores work in a little while.
So each routine will be judged on difficulty, execution, and HD.
Yeah.
So the difficulty is dependent on which category you're in. So every set routine in each category will have the same difficulty, but the vol routines can have more of a variation. And then execution is just based on how good the individual moves are. So that will be judged across all 10 moves in the routine.
And that's worth out of 10.
And that, yeah. And then there is HD, which is how each person moves along the trampoline. So if you stay perfectly in the center, you get a score of 10. But each time you land outside of the center, there will be a deduction.
Yeah, so you might see behind the trampolines there's 2 panels, and those are the tables where the judges sit. There will be 4 execution judges, so those are the ones that are marking out of 10 for how neatly you do each move. There'll be a difficulty judge marking how difficult it is, and then by the trampolines there'll be stood 2 HD judges, and then they'll be looking at where you land on the trampoline and mark that out of 10 as well. Then each of the scores are combined across both the set and vol, and then obviously everyone is ranked. So in Roses there's point system, so the team with the most points, York or Lancaster, will win at the end of the day. The point system is quite complicated, so if you're in the medal podium, so if you're 3rd, 2nd or 1st, you get points for your uni. So it's 10 points for 3rd place, 20 for 2nd place, and 30 for 1st place. There are a few caveats to that.
Yes, so for each category, the points are dependent on how many people competing there are from Lancaster and York. So if there are 3 from each, 1st, 2nd and 3rd, all score points. However, if either uni doesn't have 3, it's dependent on the lowest number. So if there's only 1 York competitor and say 4 Lancaster competitors, only the 1st place will receive points to add to the score.
Yeah, and there are a couple of categories where that happens today. Also, if one uni doesn't have any competitors at all, that category just won't count for points. So for instance, in this first category, it's Uber and Newt 1. Lancaster don't have any Uber competitors, so the York competitor is just competing for form points. They won't compete for actual Roses points.
Yeah, so the top, how many scores for form points? 8 scores for form points will count. So even if you are competing in a category on your own, obviously there is still a big importance in doing well. So we can see now Newt Uber and Newt 1 are starting their warm-ups. So they'll get around half an hour to warm up, which is then followed by the one touch. So people might practice their routine several times. Some people don't like to. So it's just sort of dependent on each individual person.
Yeah, I think there's quite an even split as well between York and Lancaster in the category. I think it's 4 York competitors and 3 Lancaster. But like I said, one of those York competitors is the Uber category. So we'll point that out when she competes, but she'll actually be the first one up today. And I definitely recommend tuning in for her routine because it will be the most impressive of the day.
Definitely, yes.
So, yeah, going back to the top form scores. So, like we said, 8 form scores count. So each university takes their top 8 scores across all the categories and add them together, and the team with the highest form score gets an extra 30 points. And in the last few years, that's really come in clutch for the winning university. It's often the decider between the two. So yeah, it's just really important that everyone kind of hits today, does as well as they can. Even if you're not in the medal places, you can still help your uni come on top today.
Because the past few years it has been very close.
Very tight.
So yeah, so last year when it was in York, Lancaster won, and then the previous year when it was in Lancaster, York won.
Yes, it's been odd.
Yeah.
Normally you think host university they would win, but that's not been the case. But we'll see if Lancaster can turn it around this year. But yeah, I think in the last 10 years it's been quite Lancaster heavy in the win. So last year you said Lancaster won.
Yes.
Year before
York won. The year before it didn't happen.
Why is that, Laura?
That was because York cancelled, so I believe Lancaster officially won because of the forfeit.
Yes.
And then the year before when it was in Lancaster won.
Yeah. And then we had 2 years of COVID. 2019 Lancaster won, 2018 Lancaster won, 2017 York won, and 2016 Lancaster won. And that's all I know. We've got 10 years history, and that's as far back as we can go. But actually, fun fact, it says on the Rose's Wikipedia page, Lancaster Trampolining was the longest winning team of all sports across Roses.
That's quite impressive.
Yeah, that was Lancaster one, up until that point, yeah.
Wow.
But since then, it's been a lot closer.
Because obviously in trampolining, because the trampolines can be so different, there can often be a home advantage because obviously you're a lot more used to the trampolines.
Exactly, yeah.
So especially for these trampolines, because there is one that is a lot bouncier than the other.
Yeah. So you can see that there's people warming up on both trampolines right now. So basically each competitor gets a choice of the 2 trampolines. So the one closest to us that the Lancaster competitor Corinne is on right now is the least bouncy of the 2. The back one is a much better trampoline, well, subjectively, but
it's a lot
bouncier, yeah, especially for this higher level competitors. And those trampolines are more what York has, so they'll be more used to those back trampolines. So I imagine we'll see them all there.
So that can play a part in sort of home advantages, but obviously in the past 2 years it hasn't made a massive difference. But we'll have to see this year what happens.
Yeah, I think every trampoline feels so different, so it at least feels nicer to be on a trampoline that you know, and that's why we get so many warm-ups as well, is to get used to the trampolines.
Yes.
And it's a big factor.
Yeah, it can really affect. You wouldn't think necessarily it would affect how well you can jump, but it does.
Yeah, well, some are a lot softer and others are a lot springier, and that means you kind of fly around the trampoline, and that's when your HD scores can really be impacted.
Or even, I guess, in somersaults for over or under rotating.
Yeah, exactly. It's just timing everything just right on each trampoline is quite different. So yeah, I think we're probably about halfway through this warm-up right now. We've got a York competitor on right now.
Have we seen everyone warm up so far? Have we seen Uber warm up? Or have we just had Newt 1?
I think we've just had Newt 1, and I can't see the Uber competitor right now. But I have. Oh no, she is there. She'll be on soon, I imagine.
Okay.
She is going to be the first one up competing today, but we'll let you know when we get to One Touch. Right now, we are still just warming up.
And then after Newt Uber and Newt 1, we move on to Newt 6.
Yes.
Newt 6 is the lowest level, but we do have a lot of competitors within Newt 6.
Oh, we've got loads. That's probably our biggest category today.
Yeah. But Newt 6, there'll be a lot less variation within the routines because there is a lot more skills that you're not allowed to do because of the lower difficulty rating.
Yes.
And then after Newt 6, it will be Newt 2 and 3, which are kind of the more mid-level.
Yep.
Followed by Newt 4, and then the final category is Newt Elite, which is another high level, and Newt 5, which is one of the lower levels.
Yeah.
So we've got a lot of people jumping today.
Yeah, and a lot of variety, a lot of different levels. I think that's one of the best things about trampolining, especially at university, is everyone can compete. It's really for everyone.
Is this Newt Uber warming up now? This is
Newt Uber, yeah. So you can see lots of different somersaults. I think it's important to note as well in Newt 1 and Uber and Elite that we'll see later on, they actually don't have a set routine. They still compete twice, but you can make up your routine both times. Whereas the other categories, you have to do a certain routine for your first routine.
Will time of flight be judged in
no,
this?
it won't, not today.
Usually time of flight is a factor in the higher categories.
But it takes sophisticated software like that you plug into under the trampoline that we
Lancaster
don't have access
does not
to.
have.
And
Lancaster
to be honest, I
has
don't
to
know.
find for better mats.
Yeah,
so.
exactly. But I don't think many people will be mad about that. Time of flight is how they basically measure how long you're in the air for your whole routine. So you have to bounce really high, and it's worth quite a lot of points. So yeah, most people would prefer to jump lower than jump really high anyway. So at least that's from my experience and from what I've spoken to other people about, is you want to go how comfortable you want to go. You don't want to push it higher than you need to.
Well, I guess we do have a lot more lower level competitors today anyway who wouldn't be judged on time of flight. So.
Exactly, yeah. So I don't think it will be a deal breaker.
No.
Are there any categories you're especially excited to watch today?
I would say Newt 5 because I used to compete in Newt 5, so it'd be nice to see how it is. But obviously, of course, Newt Uber because they're so high level.
Yeah, exactly.
And yeah, it'll be really interesting to watch. What about you?
I think Newt 3, it could be a real decider today in terms of points. York have some really good, neat Newt 3 competitors who made Bucks finals this year. But also Lancaster have a really strong group as well. I think execution-wise, you could see a lot of the top 8 scores come from that category.
Yes.
I guess we could talk generally about the season and how it's gone and how kind of the two teams have ranked. So throughout the year, we compete in what is known as the Northern English University Trampoline League, or NEWT. And there's about, I think, 5 competitions throughout the year, and they're hosted by different northern universities. And so York and Lancaster both compete across that league throughout the entire year. And we don't actually have the official results for the end of season, but I think Lancaster potentially has edged it this year, especially in terms of medals and execution and team scores.
Yes.
Yeah.
Although it has been even this year.
Yeah, I think typically, actually, last year especially, York were ranked much higher than Lancaster in terms of the league. They'd done really well across all the season, but then when Roses came around, Lancaster managed to pull it out on the day. So I think trampoline in it, anything can happen, and so you don't know what's going to happen on the day, and I think it could be a really close match today.
Yeah, and also with only 5 competitions across the year, we might not have seen everyone competing. Like, I can only speak for Lancaster, but I know there's several people competing for Lancaster today who've never competed before.
Yeah, exactly, especially at the lower levels. There's quite a few people who've not competed before.
So I presume it's going to be the same for York. So in that respect, we really don't know what could happen. No,
and there's definitely some York people who I don't recognise from the competitions this year, so they're a bit of an unknown too. So it'll be interesting to see how everyone does today.
But both universities, talking about Bucks finals, had people make Bucks finals.
Yep, I know from a Lancaster point of view, we had a couple of medalists. So Kyle I think he did Newt 6 this year. He won, I think, a silver medal. Don't quote me on that, but he definitely won a medal. And actually we had a great success in Lancaster this year on the double mini trampoline, which isn't being competed here today, but it is competed in the league. It's essentially a mix between trampolining and vaulting.
Yeah.
So it has a runway, you run up, and it's this tiny little trampoline on 2 different levels. So the front's sloped, the back end's flat, you run up to it, you do a move on it, and then you do a move off of it and land on a big mat. And so Lancaster, we don't train it. I don't think York trains it either. But Lancaster decided this year to just go ahead and compete it anyway. Most of them had never touched it before.
And did surprisingly well.
Very well. Ellie Bance, Bucks champion.
Yes.
Lots. Charlotte, Emily, M. Ogden also won the Newt League this year for DMT. So that's impressive across all the competitions, was the season champion. And talking of season champion, Owen as well won Newt 4 for the season. Unsure on York. We didn't attend the ball where they announced all of those results, so can only tell you from a Lancaster perspective, but I imagine they also did quite well, especially their Uber competitor. I wouldn't be surprised if she won the season as well, because she's done very well all year long.
Yes. So Lancaster and York, kind of team size, very similar, would you say?
Normally in the league, yes, but today, I don't know whether it's because of the Lancaster home situation.
Yes.
I think Lancaster have around 10 extra competitors compared to York.
That's quite a lot, which could make
It
a
could.
difference.
Especially when it comes back to that top 8 form scores. The more competitors you have, the more room you have to drop scores.
That's
if
true.
you've only got 8 to 10 competitors, then you're going to have to count most of the scores
That's
of the
true.
day. So you're relying on everyone hitting their routine and not falling.
Because obviously it's such a short time where you're actually competing for trampolining across both routines under a minute.
Yeah.
Anything
Yes.
can happen in that time. So
Very
we've
much
also got volleyball next to us, which has been quite loud.
Can be a bit
which
distracting.
could provide some distractions,
Yeah.
especially seeing the balls flying over next to us,
Yeah.
which if you see in the air could be slightly distracting.
Very
but
distracting. Thankfully they've got the big curtain up, otherwise it'd be a lot worse. But
Yes.
Yeah.
So,
Should stay over that side, hopefully.
Yeah. I presume we're probably starting to get nearer to the end of the warm-up, getting near to one touch.
Yeah, I would think so.
Because I think they started warming up about 15 minutes ago.
Yeah, I would say so.
And because these are quite small categories, there's not loads of people warming up. And most people, once they've done a good routine a couple of times, they don't want to warm up
anymore.
again. You don't want to tire yourself out
No,
before
you want to
compete.
leave the good one till when it actually counts. There's nothing worse than doing your best ones in warm-ups. And
Exactly.
then too tired to compete in the actual thing.
Exactly. So
Now, unfortunately, I don't think we're going to be able to give you live scores today. We'll try and get you as many as we can. The internet is down, so we don't actually have live scores. So it'll be a big reveal at the end, probably, when it comes to medals, but we'll keep you up to date on that.
we'll try and peek under the trampoline to see the scores
see
as
the
they come in.
scores. Yeah,
But
for sure.
we should have a good idea about HD because we've got quite a good view about that from here, so we can
Yeah.
say how good the HD is.
Yeah, and
We do
can-
have a good view of the trampolines.
Yeah, and I think we're both judges, right? You
Yeah.
HD judge.
HD, not done it in a year, but
Yeah, but I feel like you don't lose those skills, do you? And I'm an
Yeah.
execution judge, so we should be able to give you kind of an insight on the scores, on
Yeah.
what kind of score round they should be getting for each of the competitors as well.
yeah.
It looks to me like we are nearly ready for
It
one
looks like they
touch.
might be getting in order.
Yeah, the judges are sat down, so I wouldn't be surprised yet if they're
No.
nearly ready to compete.
We've not got any HD judges over there yet, though, I
Yeah,
don't think.
No, and we'll be able to know as well when they compete because they'll present to the judges before and after the routine. So
And
that's
there'll
when
be-
you know it's
yeah.
the real deal.
And there'll be no one else on the other trampoline, because obviously during warm-up we've had competitors on both trampolines at once, but when you're competing, that's not going to happen.
Yeah. There will be warm-ups happening on the other panels, so the other side of the trampolines to where people are warming up right now when they start competing. It's basically going to alternate between the panels, which one is competing at a time, just because of the limit of how many judges each team has. So actually, what's quite interesting is that the judges are comprised of people from the teams.
Yeah,
as
that's going to be
competitors.
very unique compared to probably
Most
every
sports.
other sport.
Yeah, so it's normally they try to make it an even split, so 2 execution judges from Lancaster, 2 from York, so there's not any bias. But also the top and the lowest execution score get dropped anyway, so
It would be quite hard for it to be
fixed,
kind of
yeah.
influenced.
Exactly.
So, but it's probably one of the only sports at Roses that is going to be entirely judged by the competitors themselves.
Yeah, for sure.
Which again makes organising it very difficult, making
does.
sure you've got enough judges.
Yes, because all these judges have to be qualified as well, so there's a
Yes.
limited number of people who hold that qualification.
And by coincidence, like a lot of the higher level competitors are also the higher, like can also judge
yeah.
more.
Yeah,
So
just 'cause
judging the
they're
high
more
level categories.
confident, yeah,
Yes.
in what the moves are and how they should be executed, so it makes it a lot easier.
But
for
it
them to
looks
judge.
like we might be getting ready for one touch now. There's
I
no
think
one
so.
warming up.
No, and they seem to be having a conversation, so
Yeah.
hopefully that's about who goes when. I imagine when Sophie from York comes on from Uber,
Yes.
she's first up, so that should be her one touch.
Because I think everything is
First.
self-marshalled, isn't it?
It is today, yeah.
Usually there will be someone directing you on where to go.
Exactly,
But
yeah.
again, because there's not that many people and people mostly know each other in their categories, you can all sort it out yourself.
Yeah, exactly. I think there's pieces of paper telling them when they should be on the trampoline, so hopefully as long as they can keep track of that, it will be fine.
But we have a lot of people watching today, which is nice.
Yeah, a lot of people actually.
Crammed into quite a small space.
Yeah, and hopefully they can stay for as long as possible. We're going to go on for quite a few hours today to go through the different categories.
Yes.
But hopefully, yeah, you'll stick with us.
Yeah, because we have started slightly late, but hopefully
Hopefully we'll catch up time. I think we've been quite generous with the warm-up time, so there should be time to kind of squeeze in.
yes. But
yeah.
I think I did just hear someone say One Touch was going to start now.
Fantastic.
So
yeah, so this is their last chance to touch the trampoline. Some
Yeah.
people opt not to have a One Touch, so that you might not see all the competitors get on from now. Yeah, so
what is really nice to see from here, though, is how sparkly all the leotards
that's
are.
what I was about to say. I was going
Is
to ask
it?
you about the leotards. Yeah.
Have you all got new leotards?
I
Or-
think so, but they seem to get new leotards so often. I don't know how they manage to get the funds to be doing this, but I think the ones they have right now are probably my favourite that they've had the
They
whole
are
time.
really nice, and also nice and sparkly. We do
Very
like a sparkly
sparkly,
leotard.
and I like the back straps.
I was also thinking that.
Yeah.
Also very nice.
A lot of sparkles. Lancaster also have new leotards. This is the first season they've had them for the whole season. They had them
Yes.
for Roses last year, just in time.
Yes.
But some people will be wearing the old leotards just because of how many people
Yes.
there are for Lancaster.
But that's quite good in a way because it means we've got a lot of people who, are,
Exactly.
especially in the lower categories, trying something new.
Yep, exactly.
But it looks like the judges are just sort of getting organised for One Touch now.
Yeah.
It looks like they're all sitting down.
Yeah, they all look
We've
prepared,
got the HD there now as well.
ready to go.
But obviously for One Touch, nothing is judged.
No, but they do look like they're getting ready, so maybe they have One Touch.
Oh, maybe we did just miss it.
We'll know when they present. But they might just be practice judging. That often happens
That's-
during the One
yes.
Touch as well, especially at the start of a competition, because you want. Obviously, judging is subjective. Everyone can view form in a different way. So they tend to do a practice at the start just to make sure all the judges are in line and we don't have any like really high or really low scores.
And also, I suppose, in these high levels, especially because the routines, there isn't a set routine,
Yeah.
there can be a lot of variation. So it's good that they know what they might be looking out for
Yeah,
in terms
exactly.
of different moves.
It's actually quite difficult doing the difficulty judging as well for this category because the moves are a lot harder. Everyone does a different routine, so you've got to keep track. Whereas in the set routines and people in the lower category, you can kind of know what they're going to do, so you don't have to
Yes.
really work as hard as the difficulty judge. So yeah, they're getting the hardest work done early today, and then
Yes.
hopefully it'll get a little bit easier until elite at the end of the day.
Yeah. Yeah. Going into Newt 6 afterwards should be hopefully a lot more straightforward.
Yeah, a lot easier. Yeah. We've got a lot of signs around today. I think most of them are behind us, but I can see a
HD
Who's She sign from York.
That's the only York sign I can see right now.
Yeah. Right, so this is Sophie from York, and this is our Uber competitor, and it does look like she's
Oh.
about to start. There you go, she's presenting to the judges. So this is our first competitor of the day. You're going to see she probably will jump the highest out of all the competitors, and that's 'cause
There
she's
is a
got
lot of height.
a lot more difficulties to fit in, and the higher you go, the easier it is to fit that routine in. Nice and high.
Yes.
Well, a double somersault to start, that's called a half out. Really nice kick out, straight legs, pointed toes.
This is looking very neat so far
Very neat.
and very sensual in terms of HD.
Yeah. Wow, that's very nice.
That was excellent.
Yeah. Definitely the most difficult routine you'll see today.
Yeah.
She actually lost her hair bubble halfway through that routine,
very
I'm very
impressive that she
impressed.
managed to keep going.
I would have lost focus at that point.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I think that was really, really good, especially her. She did a twisting somersault in the middle called a Rudy. That's a front somersault with 1.5 twist. And I thought that was probably my highlight of the routine from her. 'Cause, yeah,
But now
she kept her
moving
arms
on,
in really close.
moving on to Charlotte from Lancaster.
Yeah, so we moved on to Newt 1 now. So this is a slightly easier routine, but still
Very difficult.
very difficult and one of the more difficult routines of the day.
Yes.
Charlotte's had a very successful season. She recently came first in Newt 1 at, I think it was Leeds competition. But yeah, she's won a lot of medals this year. She's also been one of those competitors who did really well in DMT, made Bucks DMT finals. So yeah,
So I can probably expect a very neat routine from her.
yes, there is just a slight delay while they wait for the scores to come in,
Yes.
which I can't see, but I can.
We do have a map blocking our view.
Yeah,
Which
but I imagine they're quite high scores, so yes, we'll see at the end of the day. But I imagine she'll come out first of one.
yeah,
Won't be a
again, she
surprise
is not
there.
competing against anyone else, so I think she will be the winner.
Yeah, I assume so. Okay, so here's Charlotte from Lancaster. So each competitor has I think it's a full minute before they have to start their routine. So you can see they do these nice inbounces at the start.
Just to get yourself centered in the middle of the trampoline ready.
Yeah. Beautiful straddle jump. And the goal for these somersaults is to kick out at 12 o'clock, which she's doing quite nicely here.
Very neat tuck.
Yeah. Very nice. So that move there at the end, she has a trouble with sometimes, but she really did that well today. Very central.
And we can now see on the other panel, we have Newt 6 warming up.
Yeah.
So we do have a lot of competitors from both York and Lancaster in Newt 6, and a lot of them who might have never competed before.
Yep, definitely. Yeah, so I think watching this category, you can see anyone can join trampolining. You don't need to do somersaults. These competitors won't do any somersaults today. They will just be shape jumps, body landings, twists. Yeah, so they'll be warming up whilst we finish the competition over on this panel here. So next up is Richard from York. He's also a Newt 1 competitor.
Also worth noting, compared to new competitions, males and females compete against each other at Roses.
Yes.
Whereas in normal new competitions, it's separate categories.
Yeah. And that can be difficult for the men. Sometimes the form tends to be a bit better for the women, especially pointed toes, straight legs. But Richard here, I would say, is an exception to that rule. He has really good form, and so will stand well today.
Very neat straight back.
Slight bent legs on that brownie, but has brought it back.
Again, good kickouts at 12 o'clock.
Very good. And he's brought the HD score.
Very neat tuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, very good
nice.
HD score. And a very neat routine.
Very good routine. You can see at the end of the routine, you're allowed one single jump. So after your last move, you can jump one time before you stop. That's called your out bounce. You actually get marked on that out bounce, which some people don't necessarily know, but you can get up to a 0.2 off if you're a bit wobbly.
That can make quite a big difference.
Yeah. And you also have to hold it still at the end. If you don't stop and hold it before you present to the judges, you can also get up to a 0.3 deduction. So it's really important to be patient once you finish, not get too excited before you present to the judges.
And up next we have got Em. Em has recently moved into Newt 1.
Yeah, she competed in Newt 1 at the weekend. Last weekend we had a Newt competition in Durham, and that was her first time competing Newt 1, and she did really well. I think she came top 10 there. So
I know, yeah, I do know she got 20 moves.
Yes, exactly.
So that is a big aim for most people when they move up a category, to make sure that they're still completing both of their routines.
Definitely. And she's had a really great season in Newt 2 as well, so I think it's good that she's moved up.
Very neat straight back. Neat straddle as well, very straight legs.
This middle part of the routine's gone really well for her.
It has.
Very central.
And a lovely crash dive at the end.
Yeah. See, Emma used to struggle actually with her HD score.
But that was a
this year
very
she's
good
really
HD.
turned it around.
Yeah. So far, I think everyone's been very central on their
Very
HD.
central,
I don't think
yeah.
there'll be many deductions on it.
No, I think it's obviously hard for the last move. I think we've seen a couple of crash dive call-outs. So yeah, crash dives, they're a bit scary by the name, but they're basically three-quarter front somersaults that they land on their back.
Even with the description, it still sounds quite scary.
Yeah, I think they've officially changed the name to three-quarter front, but everyone still calls them crash dive. Yeah, so this is Tamika from York, also a Newt 1 competitor. She's rocking that leotard. It looks very nice on her.
They are really nice, these New York leotards.
I don't think I've seen her compete in the Newt League this year, so I might be wrong. But this might be a York debut for Tamika.
Very neat inbounces.
Yeah. She's taking her time to get central before she starts. Bit of bent legs there, but she's managed to carry on.
Yeah. Neat tuck and very neat pike.
Yeah. That's a shame. So she didn't manage to finish there. She did get 10 moves, but there is a requirement in Newt 1 that you do either a lazy back Cody, which is a back somersault straight with a back somersault from your front to your feet, or a crash dive, ball out, or a full. So you saw she did the crash dive, but she didn't quite manage the ball out. So she will get a deduction for that. I think it's a 2 full point deduction, but I think she did really well, especially after, I can't remember which move it was, but she seemed a little bit off, but she managed to kind of bring it back
herself very nicely.
Yeah, definitely.
There was probably for her a bit more variation in her HD compared to what we've seen so far today.
Yeah, but especially if this was her first time competing for York, I think she did really
well.
That
is very normal to have variation in your HD, and also being from York, they're not used to our trampolines at Lancaster.
Like I say, I think they are quite different. York are very lucky. They do have some really nice trampolines. Much higher quality than Lancaster has, but Lancaster, I feel like you get used to what you have. So
exactly. So that can, even if it's not necessarily as bouncy, if you're used to it, it can be okay. So we're now getting ready for the last competitor.
Yeah, this is
Corinne. One.
She's actually choosing to use the non-bouncy trampoline, which is interesting for Newt One.
Yeah, she's the only competitor so far who has chosen that one.
Yeah.
But again, it's just what you're used to and what you prefer.
But I personally would never do it. I used to compete in this category. I don't think I could ever do a routine on this trampoline, so impressive.
I mean, even doing a lower level routine, I preferred the bouncy one.
Yeah. Because it's less bouncy, you have to put a lot more effort in to get higher.
Yeah.
But some people prefer it because it's not as bouncy, so you don't go flying around quite as much as
That's
you do.
That's true.
So as long as you have the power in your legs to get high enough, it's not too bad.
There is just a bit of a delay though, because HD are only just moving around now.
Yeah, well I imagine they're discussing what to do with the previous score because she didn't manage the ball out.
That's true.
But hopefully she'll get it in her second routine.
Yes.
Yes, so this is Corinne from Lancaster.
Our final competitor in Newt One.
Yes, this is the last of the set routines. Oh no, I think there's one more competitor after this. Yeah.
Oh, never
York.
mind. Our second last competitor.
That was a lovely straight barani.
Some slight bent legs at the end, but very neat overall.
Yeah, slightly looser shape, so you want to be as tight as possible in each of your tuck, straddle, pike shapes. But that crash dive ball out at the end.
And she looks very happy.
Very happy with that. And you couldn't tell she was on the non-bouncy bed either, which
that's true.
Is impressive on its own. But yeah, I think HD as well for that one. Probably one of the best we've seen, especially that ball out at the end, landed right near the middle. But yeah, there's a lot of things that go into the form scores. So kick out is probably the main one, especially this higher level. You want to kick out your somersaults at 12 o'clock. So imagine it's the clock, you want to kick out right as you get to the ceiling. Anything beyond that, you get a deduction. And then shapes, so your tuck, straddle, pikes, you want them to be as tight to your body as possible, or you get, again, a deduction.
And we're now getting ready for the final Newt One, which is George from York.
Yes, this is the final set routine.
And then they'll all move on to their second routine. Very neat straight back.
Very nice.
Not quite essential on the bed compared to the other competitors we've seen.
But generally,
it's very near the wasn't it? Very near the edge.
Yeah. Well, I was thinking as well, the kickouts and the straight legs on that was actually quite good. There was only a couple times where his legs bent.
So far, the stereotype of men usually being less straight.
Guys, you're doing really well.
It's been very neat today.
It is, yeah. So because he didn't land on the trampoline, that's a full point deduction. Actually, no, it's not. Ignore me. It's out of how many moves he landed on the trampoline.
But that'll have a big impact on his score.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not exactly sure. I didn't count how many moves he did. But basically, if you do 10 moves and then land on the mat, that's a full point deduction. If it's during the middle of your routine, you get to... It's out of how many moves you did on the trampoline.
It looks like they're having a bit of a debate about
what to do. They're probably discussing which move to count it up to.
That's true. But he did majority of his routine. Probably got to about move 6, maybe?
Yeah, I think 7 or 8, I think. I think he probably only had the crash dive ball out to go. He did quite a lot of somersaults. Although he did a full in the middle, so maybe he didn't plan to do a crash dive.
That's true. But so now, because we've gone through everyone once, we'll be going on to everyone doing their second routine. So we'll be going back to the beginning to Sophie from York, who is Uber.
Yeah, so we saw how difficult her first routine is. I'll be intrigued to see if she adds any more difficulty, given that she has no competitors today. She might opt to do a safe routine, so well, it's still very difficult, but normally in a Newt League competition you want to add as much difficulty as you can. But she might go for form today, especially with the top 8 form scores counting.
That is very true.
But I imagine we'll see her start with that half out, so the double front somersault with a half twist, which she does incredibly well.
And getting a lot of height to start with, especially we can see her jumping next to Newt 6 warming up. There is such a large difference in height.
Yeah, definitely. I think you can see why she's done so well this year in the league as well.
It's very neat so far.
Very neat. Slightly late kick out on those pike shapes, but the rest of it has been absolutely beautiful.
There's not really anything to fault on the rest of it, really.
No. And ends with a
very
double back
central.
then, which I think she did add from her set routine. I don't think we saw her do a double back then. So yeah, she's added more difficulty. I think, especially her twisting shape, she doesn't bend her leg at all, which is impressive. Holds that straight shape the whole time.
And I think must be a very good HD score on that.
Very good HD, very good form. We also give out medals at the end of the day for the top 3 form scores, so she could definitely be up there. I think last year she won form.
I wouldn't be surprised if that,
Yeah, she did. She's been very consistent and very neat the whole time. And we're back to Charlotte now, so we're back to our Newt ones on their voluntary routines.
Again, probably just discussing the difficulty of that routine.
Yeah, that's definitely what takes the longest out of the judging for these higher level competitors. I think form scores will be pretty straightforward, as I imagine they'll be mid to high 7s for that routine.
And now Charlotte is just starting her routine back into Newt 1. So again, these competitors, they can vary to what they did in their first routine. So you might see some people doing the same. We also might see quite a lot of them doing something different.
Yeah, I can't remember what Charlotte does. We'll see in a moment, but I think she might take out her crash dive ball out and replace it with some front somersaults.
Very neat straddle.
Yeah.
Slightly wobbly there.
But she's brought it back straight on track again. And her HD score. Oh no, she is doing the crash dive. And very well as well.
Yes.
She'll be very pleased with that.
She will be She looks pleased with that.
She does, yeah. And you can see how she stopped and stayed still and was very solid on that landing.
So in Newt 1, is there, how many competitors from each? Is there 3 from each for Newt 1?
Yeah, I think so. 3 from Lancaster, 3 from York.
So in Newt 1 it is going to be very
tight,
competitive.
Yes.
And also all 3 positions will count towards the points.
Yeah, definitely. I think, it'll be quite an even match so far.
Yeah.
We'll see.
And who is it now? Is it Richard from York?
Richard from York, yes. I think he's done really well in the Newt League as well. I think he's won quite a lot of medals this year, which you can tell from his form scores.
Yeah. Just getting ready to start.
Yes. Taking a pause to get focused and get ready. I'm impressed how they're focusing with the loud volleyball next door.
Yeah. I don't even think volleyball have properly started. I think they've just been warming up. So we'll see what happens when they do start. Yeah. So I remember 2 years ago it was next to volleyball and it was very loud then. But this is a very neat routine from Richard, but he is moving slightly more on the trampoline compared to his first routine, but still looking very neat. I
love his straight back as well. I think that's probably his best move of the routine. I think the straight jumps, the straddle, could do with some improvement, but the rest of the routine, I think he was very impressive.
He looks like he might have injured himself, maybe.
Yeah, it looks like he might have hurt his hip slightly, probably on that straddle jump.
Yeah. But if he's injured, that was a very good routine for someone who is feeling injured.
And I think that
he completed all 10 moves.
Yeah, and I think that routine was slightly different to his set routine, because I don't remember him doing a tuck back to seat before.
Yes.
But he did that very well.
So next competitor is M from Lancaster.
Yes.
Wonder if she'll be doing the same routine or something different?
She does the same routine, just because she just moved up.
That's true.
Emma's actually graduating this year, so this will be her last competition.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's what makes it so special, that she's managed to move up to Newt 1 just at the end of her last year. I know this was a kind of a big goal for her. And like I said, she's improved probably the most out of all the competitors that I've seen this year.
Yes.
And I think it roots back to that HD score, because she did used to really struggle with it and it threw her off. But now she's managed to kind of find the middle of the trampoline, make friends with it, stay there, and it's really worked for her this year.
She's just warming up now, preparing to start her routine. Straight back to start with. Slight bent legs on the Barani, but a very neat straddle.
Yeah. Slightly loose pike shape, but the tuck Barani and tuck back were very nice.
And very neat shape jumps as well. And
beautiful Barani
dive
ball
at the
out.
end.
Yeah, very
Another,
nice.
10 moves from her, and she looks very happy.
Very happy bounce to the
with that.
judges.
Yeah.
I'm sure she'll get a very good score for that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
very
this
happy for
Newt
her.
1 category is looking very tight so far.
Very tight, yes, definitely.
But it's always nice when it's tight and everyone's done well.
Exactly, yeah. Well, that's what we want. We want everyone to complete their routines today, and then the best execution score wins, hopefully.
Yeah. But it looks like Newt 6 have probably finished warming up, so as soon as they're done on this panel, we'll be moving over to Newt 6.
Yeah, I imagine they'll be starting their one touch soon.
Yes.
In preparation for this category to finish, and then the judges will all move over to that panel, and we'll start competing in the Newt 6 category while another panel warms up.
So we now have Tamika from York in Newt 1.
I wonder if she'll keep the crash dive ball out in this time.
Yes.
It'll be interesting to see. Very high jumps, very neat so far.
Neat straight back.
Slightly lost it on the straight Barani.
And on the pike back. But a very neat shape jump there.
She's doing well to keep going now.
Yeah.
Will she do it? Oh, well done, yeah. She
and another
managed
10
it today,
moves.
Yeah, so in her set routine, you saw that she only did the crash dive to feet, and she didn't do the extra somersault at the end of the crash dive. But she managed it there, so that's really good.
Yeah.
And it means that she'll have met her difficulty score, which is really important.
And she looks happy with that.
Exactly, yeah.
And then we have back to another Lancaster competitor next. We have Corinne, who was on the other trampoline.
Yeah, she went on the dead bed last time, as we call it.
Yeah. Because
Dead
it is
as
a
in
lot
it's
less
not
bouncy.
Yes. Makes your legs feel a little bit dead.
Yeah. You have to put a lot more effort in to get the same height.
Yeah. We can see in the Newt 6 competitors, though, warming up, there are a lot of people on that less bouncy trampoline.
Yes.
Compared to the bouncy one, and that is what we'd expect. It's a little bit easier for them to control their moves and their form when they're jumping a bit lower.
Yes. We've just got HD coming around now, so presume she'll be getting on in a second.
Yes. She did a very nice set routine. She seemed very happy with it, so hopefully she can do the same again. I'm just impressed how high she can manage to get on this trampoline. You can see she jumps basically as high as the other competitors have been.
But she's putting a lot more effort into it.
She is, but it's working well. That straight Barani is probably one of the better ones we've seen.
And a very neat pike Barani as well.
Yeah.
She's moving quite a lot in terms of HD, but it's all looking
She's
neat.
brought it back to the middle.
And a lovely crash dive ball out as well.
Very nice, very
And
nice.
she looks very happy with that as well.
Very happy. That's what we want here.
Yeah.
So we've only got one more competitor in this Newt 1 category, so yeah, we flew through them, I feel like.
Yeah.
And they all did very well. So our last competitor is George from York.
He struggled a bit on his first
he
routine,
landed
didn't
on the end deck, so the mat at the end of the trampoline. So
he'll be definitely aiming for 10 moves on this one.
Hopefully 10 moves. I think that's everyone's biggest goal, is to get 10 moves in each routine.
We've just got HD going background, so he'll be getting on in a second.
Yes.
But so far, everyone's looking very happy with their routines.
Yeah, very. Yeah, it'll be very close, I think, in this category.
Yeah.
We'll see
And
how
I think that's probably going to
George
be
fares.
the rest of the day.
Yeah.
Very close.
Yeah. Another really good straight back.
Yeah.
Slightly leg bent on the straight Barani.
Yes.
Very nice.
Neat pipe back.
Yeah. Just struggling to stay in the centre of the trampoline. He's probably managed to get a 0.1 deduction on a lot of those moves just for the HD
another
scores.
10 move routine. So he's been very successful in this
I imagine he'll be
category.
really happy with that. The form was quite good on it, and he managed to get 10 moves. So yeah, well done to him.
Because a lot of the time in the higher levels, it's a lot more common for people to maybe not finish their routines.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot riskier the higher and the harder the moves you do.
Yes. So now that is all done, we'll be moving over to the other panel where Newt 6 are currently warming up. I'm not sure if it's still warm up or one touch.
Yeah.
I think it's still warm up.
I think it's still warm up. I imagine they'll move the judges over before they start one touch.
That's true.
Do you have any thoughts about who might have come out first in that last category?
I think both Charlotte and Richard.
Yeah.
Both, I think, were the standouts in that.
Definitely. I think Em as well did very well.
She did.
Yeah, I think it could be close at the top though.
Yeah. Because obviously we can't see the scores from here.
We can't see the scores, unfortunately.
We don't know the difficulty.
Nope. No, so we're going on execution alone.
Yeah.
I think a lot of them did very similar difficulty. I don't think I saw anything that meant. I think they all did around 8 somersaults. So
yes.
I imagine it will come down to form and HD. I think particularly Charlotte had a very good HD score, and Em.
I know Charlotte medalled recently in Newt 1.
Yes. Yeah, she's medalled quite a lot this year, so I wouldn't be surprised if she came on top, but I think Richard will push her all the way, and Em could be in there too.
Definitely.
But yeah.
But for Newt Uber, a lot easier.
I think Sophie won.
I think
really?
Sophie won. Yeah.
But I think her form score would have been really helpful for York's team.
Definitely. And is it the top 8 form scores that count?
Top 8, yeah.
So, yeah.
But we will know who's won at the end of the competition.
Yes.
So everyone's going to compete, and then they'll all sit down and they'll give medals out for each of the individual categories. So we'll be able to tell you then who comes top in each one, and then they'll announce which university has won from each.
We will be trying to guess.
Yeah.
But it looks like the judges are all going over to the other panel.
Yeah, so I imagine they're probably doing one touch right now.
I see Jonathan with a clipboard ticking people off.
I think he might be chair of the judges, which is basically the top judge who tells all the judges what to do.
Fun job.
It's a fun. I actually quite enjoy it. It can be a bit stressful sometimes, but yeah, no, it's an enjoyable job.
But I suppose it's different because he's basically being a marshal as well as the chair.
Yeah, so normally that's 2 different roles, but
it's a bit easier marshalling in this competition compared to the normal ones.
Yeah, definitely.
Because in the new competition, sometimes you've kind of got to go and chase people around.
Yeah.
If there's several panels of trampolines, you're constantly going under the trampolines.
Yeah, I think warm-up as well here looks a lot less stressful than at new comps. In new comps, it can be a little bit of a fight to get on the trampoline. You just kind of have to barge your way on.
Especially for doing synchro.
Oh, yeah. Synchro is my biggest pet peeve in trampolining competitions. You just have to force your way on, and I don't like it.
No.
You could have a really nice cue, but there is never.
Yeah, because usually in trampolining competitions for individual, there are multiple different flights for every category.
Yeah.
For synchro, everyone is in the same flight.
Yeah, or at least 20 people in the same.
So that makes 40 people.
Yeah, and you have to get on the same time as the person on the other trampoline as well, because you want to get on with your.
So it can get a bit shovey.
Yeah, there's a lot of huffing and puffing, and you just have to be a bit rude and get yourself on the trampoline or you never go.
But we don't do synchro at Rosa's.
We don't. Unfortunately, I feel like one day, hopefully, I think it's just a time constraint.
I think because we are going on for a very long time anyway.
Yeah. I think it would be nice for Lancaster to get a DMT as well, given their success this year.
Yeah. I don't think York have competed DMT at Newt.
No, I don't.
So it will be interesting to see how they're doing.
Yeah.
But it looks like we are just getting ready for Newt 6 one touch.
I think so. At least getting that way.
Yeah.
There are a lot of competitors in this Newt 6 flight.
But it looks like they're just getting ready.
Yeah.
So how many do we have in Newt 6? Let's have a look. And I don't know if you can hear that volleyball are just starting.
Yeah, I can't really hear myself think right now.
No.
So. There are 12 competitors in Newt 6.
And we've got 2 from York.
And the rest from Lancaster.
So only first and second position will be being contested.
Yeah, but there will be a medal for 3rd place anyway. And like we said, every competitor counts. You want to get in that top 8 form scores. And actually, these lower categories, a lot of our top form scores will come from these lower categories because it's generally easier to be neater with the lower level skills. And I think we've got a really good group of competitors today. Particularly shout out to Lancaster's Ellie Fisher. She was in the Bucks final this year. She has done really well in the nude league as well, won a lot of medals.
But this category really just shows that anyone can join trampolining.
Definitely, definitely.
Because
you don't need to somersault.
Yeah. I mean, it can still be difficult for definite. I think it looks a lot easier than it can actually be. Linking the moves together.
Definitely. If you've never done it before, it takes a while to get used to that.
Because these trampolines are a lot bouncier than the ones you do get in your garden. Even the ones we call the dead bed.
Yeah.
It's still a lot bouncier.
Definitely. And that can definitely catch people off guard.
Yes.
So yeah, the new 6 routines, they tend to be comprised of twists, which is like a half twist or a full twist, body landing, so C drops, front drops, back drops, and then shape jumps, so your tuck straddle pikes.
I think only set B has got a front drop in.
Yeah. So yeah, it will be mainly seat drops and body shapes and twists.
Yes, but we'll probably be seeing most of the competitors doing set A.
Yes, it's very rare to do set B.
Yeah, because set B has a front drop in and front drops.
We should probably explain set A and set B.
Yeah. So in new competitions, for the set routine, everyone has 2 options that they can do. There is set A and set B. Set A kind of just slowly changes throughout the categories.
Yes.
So in Newt 6, it starts with a half twist. Newt 5, it starts with a full twist.
With a somersault at the end. So you have
with a somersault at the end of Newt 5. So it sort of slowly just builds across each category.
Yeah.
Set B is just exact same difficulty as set A, but different moves.
Yeah, I think they just have a tendency to throw a front drop in there, and most people aren't that fond of a front drop.
Oh, we've just seen a front drop now.
Oh, wow. Just trying to prove me wrong. But yeah, I think most people just avoid it, especially in the higher ones, because they tend to put a half twist to front drop in, which...
It's quite a difficult move.
It's really difficult.
In a category that is for more lower level competitors.
Yeah, exactly. And actually I know a lot of people, once they start somersaulting, really don't like a front drop. Because you're worried you're going to over-rotate. Yeah, me either, really. As a kid I did, but then as I got older and got a bit more scared, just... your face going towards the trampoline is not a nice feeling.
But there is no one on the trampoline now, so I think we might be waiting for one touch.
Yeah, I think the judges are all sat and ready.
All of the judges are over there.
Yeah.
It is quite hard to see from here where we are stood because we've got mats in the way,
and very loud.
And it is very loud with volleyball next to us. Yeah, it's been loud all day for volleyball actually.
It has, yeah. And this category we are going to start with a York competitor, but then the rest of the category is mostly Lancaster.
Yes. But it looks like we're just getting ready to start.
It does. Our HD judges are ready, and then our other panel, they look like they're about to start their Newt 3.
That is Newt 2 and Newt 3 on the other panel.
Yeah.
Who will start warming up in a minute.
Right, so this first competitor is Abigail from York. I like their York shirts this year.
They are nice. But I think all years have had their own.
Yeah, I think
t-shirt.
So, yeah. It was a nice half twist
Very
jump.
neat straddle.
Beautiful seat drop too.
And pointed feet. Very neat so far. And very good
nice
HD as well.
Yeah, I think form-wise that was really
excellent,
good.
Yeah.
I don't think I saw a single bent leg. Toes pointed as well. I think that was the standout part of the routine for me, is pointed toes.
Yeah. So she did, in terms of sets that we were talking about, that was set A, which we probably will see quite a lot of repetition of throughout this category.
Yep, I think we'll have one rogue set B thrown in there halfway through, but...
Yeah.
Next up we have Zara from Lancaster. Now, Zara's been to quite a few competitions this year, but I believe she was completely new to trampolining before she started, so... Yeah, it's been very nice to see her compete this year.
And there probably will be a lot more variation in the trampolines the competitors pick. So she's gone on the other side to the previous competitor.
Yes, this is the less bouncy trampoline.
Yeah, which, if you're HD judging, isn't ideal because we can see they're running under the trampolines now. They'll have very sore backs by the end.
I had to do it for a couple of hours earlier in the year and I couldn't walk the next day. Bending under those trampolines, it's hard work. Right,
but
so
this
she's
is
about to
Zara
start.
starting. Neat half twist. Slightly bent legs on the straddle, but still neat and staying in the centre.
Very central.
Slight wobble there, but still neat. And a nice full twist
Very
at
good.
end.
She'll be very happy with that,
Yeah.
I imagine. Very good.
Full twists can be quite deceiving. They look...
Oh, especially at the end of a routine.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to really squeeze your core muscles, otherwise you go a little bit wobbly and all over the place.
Yeah, especially when you're a lower level and you might not have as much height actually getting round.
Yeah, definitely. Especially after a sea drop as well.
Yeah.
You drop your height when you do a body landing. You have to really push out of the trampoline afterwards to keep
We're
your
now
height.
moving back to the other trampoline for Beth from Lancaster.
Yeah, so she's opted for the bouncier trampoline.
Yes. But just waiting to start. We've got a lot of red on the trampolines at the moment.
Yeah, a lot of Lancaster involved.
And I do like how sparkly our leotards are
Yeah,
now
I
for
think they do
Lancaster.
stand out a lot, yeah.
Very neat half twist and
Very
straddle.
nice straddle. Good line out as well. That's a bit rare to see in these levels.
But that can add quite a lot to the form score.
Definitely, yeah. So a line out is when you bring your arms down at the end of the move. So she's did that really well throughout that whole routine. Very well done.
Very neat routine.
Very
In
good.
this category, you probably will see the vast majority doing 10 moves.
Yeah, I imagine. Hopefully, anyway.
Hopefully everyone.
Commentators curse now.
Well, yeah.
No, I'm sure they will.
So next we have got Emily from Lancaster.
Yes. She hasn't competed this year, so it'll
No.
be intriguing how she gets on today.
Yeah.
She's got some very nice sparkles in her hair. She's got a lot of red glitter going on.
Yeah.
She's actually wearing one of our old leotards, so those are the leotards we've had for quite a few years before this one. So
not sparkly.
Not sparkly. A lot of the sparkles have fallen off.
Yeah.
So it was a very much needed upgrade to the leotards this year.
But Emily is actually the Lancaster activities officer.
Yes.
So she's probably had quite a stressful time making sure Roses has all gone to plan so far.
Yes, I'm surprised she's competing, to be honest. I think that's impressive in itself.
Yeah, but it's actually very hard to hear anything when we have got volleyball next to us.
She's got slightly more bent legs than those seat
Yes.
drops. You want to keep your legs as straight as possible, but she is staying central.
But again, another 10 moves.
Yeah, especially very good if you've not competed before.
Yeah.
Very
Because
good.
competing for the first time, very nerve-wracking.
Very nerve-wracking.
Especially all the noise from volleyball.
Yeah. I think we're used to noise when we compete, but probably not this level of noise.
Yeah.
Normally just background music, people talking, but...
And I don't know about York, but Lancaster training shares a space with table tennis, so not that loud.
No, a couple of table tennis balls under the trampoline, that's probably as much hassle as you get from them.
But then if a table tennis ball does come flying towards you, it's a bit off-putting.
Yeah, but normally they're low enough that it doesn't actually come on the trampoline, so it's not usually too much of a problem.
It looks like we were meant to be having someone, we were meant to be having Freya from York, but it looks like we've got David from Lancaster.
Yeah, I think so.
So I wonder if there might only be the one York competitor, or if she is there.
Yes. Well, as there's only 2 York competitors, hopefully we'll be able to notice in case she's been moved to the end of the flight. But we are going to skip straight to David from Lancaster. Now it's interesting because I think the points work even if they only have one competitor show up for York.
It's about who's scheduled.
It's about who's scheduled, so they would forfeit the points for second place. So Lancaster would automatically get 20 points, which would be quite a big bonus for Lancaster.
It's looking neat so far. Slightly wobbly on the pike and going into the half twist to seat, but a nice, neat full twist to finish.
Yeah, very good. I'm sure he'll be very happy with that.
And who is next? We have got
Ellie Fisher. So Ellie made the Bucks final earlier this year. She's also won lots of medals in Newt this year as well. So be very intrigued to see how she places today.
So for Bucks, that's what it's all unis in the UK.
All universities,
and the finalists are the top 8 in each category. So making that final is quite a big achievement.
Yeah, because I think there was around 70 competitors per category. So being in the top 8 is a massive achievement, and she should be very happy with that.
But
she's been made to wait a little while now.
Yeah,
so
that can be a bit off-putting.
very off-putting, yeah. But I think she did the right thing staying off the trampoline until they were ready for her.
Having to just stand there, that isn't great sometimes. But she is just starting her routine now. She's had quite a few more inbounces than some of the other competitors we've seen.
But they were very, very solid inbounces. You can say she was getting herself centred quite well.
Very neat so far. Lovely
Beautiful pike jump. That's probably the best we've seen so far.
And line out on the tuck.
Very nice line out. Very good form.
HD on that as well. Yeah. That was an excellent routine, I think.
I think that's going to be definitely one of those top 8 form scores for Lancaster to count today.
Yes, I think it will be. And she looks very happy with that as well.
Very happy, as she should. Very neat routines.
Yes. And then the next competitor is
Bethany.
Bethany from Lancaster again. And she is in the old leotards again.
Yes.
But she's again just a bit of a delay before she can get on.
Yeah. Yeah, it's normally it takes a little while to add up the scores as well from the judges.
Make sure
that's normally what the delay
them.
is doing the maths to add the scores out of 10.
Yes. But at least kind of for all the competitors, because there's 2 HD judges, one was from Lancaster, you can talk to the judges.
Yeah.
Everyone's very friendly.
You say, please give me a 10. They won't, but, you know.
But you can beg.
Yeah, you can beg. Or you could just land in the middle every time and get a 10 and it.
Yeah.
Which actually you see quite often from these lower level competitors.
Very nice pointed feet, and that was a nice neat seat drop.
Yes. Very central.
Nice pike. And a neat half twister seat as well.
She also had good line outs. Definitely makes you stand out when you manage to line those skills out.
Another good routine.
Yeah, and another very happy competitor.
So who have we got next?
We've got
Karis from Lancaster.
Yes. So we've still got 4 more competitors to do their set routines before we move on to voluntary routines in this Newt 6 category.
Yeah. So Karis again has never competed.
No.
She's new to trampolining.
It's very impressive, especially to come out in roses.
Yeah. Slight bend legs going into the seat drop. But
she's keeping her balance quite well though.
Yeah, slightly off balance, but another very good routine.
Yeah, she'll be very happy given the first time.
She looks happy with that.
Yeah, that's the main thing. Right, so 3 more competitors, all should be from Lancaster. So this is Kieran. I believe he has competed 1 time this year in the league competitions. We've yet to see a set B routine. They've all done exactly the same moves.
Yes. We did see a set B in warm-up, but I cannot remember who that was.
I think it might have been Molly, who's still to come, but we'll see. Somebody might have decided to do it for a voluntary routine.
That's true, because everyone gets to do 2 routines, so someone might do it for their first and not their second.
He jumps nice and high.
He does.
Very high. He's smiling a lot through the routine, which is impressive.
Slightly wobbly coming out of that, but still looking neat.
Slightly wobbly on that full twist, but he managed to get it around.
Yeah, and he looks happy.
He looks very happy. He was smiling the whole time.
Yeah.
Which is impressive. I never managed that. I always looked like I was going to cry the whole routine.
There's only so much you can focus on, whether you do the routine or whether you smile.
Yeah, I can't do both at the same time. But he managed it, so that's impressive.
Yeah. And we've got another Lancaster competitor now.
This is Tommy. Yes.
So again, just waiting to start.
Yeah, I think this time when you have to wait for your.
You just got to awkwardly bounce from side to side while you're waiting.
Because you're not allowed to start until the chair judge says your name and says, "Go when you're ready."
He's just getting ready. A half twist to start. Staying very central.
Very central. He could point his feet a little bit more and that would give him an extra bonus point for each move. But he finished really solid then.
Yeah. And again, another 10 moves.
Yeah, he did a little fist bump, so I imagine he's very happy with that routine, as he should be. Right, I think we've got one final competitor. This is Molly from Lancaster. And I believe this is where we saw the front drop.
Yes.
Hopefully.
We'll see if she does it in this routine or if she does it in her bowl.
Yeah. But it will make her stand out if she does, because she's the only one who's done it. And as we haven't seen that other York competitor, I imagine that she's just decided not to compete today, which is a shame. But for the best, I suppose. So yeah, I think that would mean that Lancaster automatically gets 20 points for this category, which it could come down to those 20 points.
Yeah, it was very close last year, I think.
Yeah, exactly. Very nice full twist.
Very neat straddle, pointed legs.
Very nice so far.
This is very neat.
You can tell she's really focusing on that
comes the front drop.
Very good.
And a neat front drop as well.
Yeah, it just throws me that it ends in a front drop.
Yeah. But
she did it very well.
That could be another contender for form, do you think?
Oh, definitely.
It was very neat.
Yeah, you could tell she was really focusing on squeezing all of her legs. Squeezing her legs together and keeping her arms by her ears.
So that was everyone has now done their first routine in Newt 6.
Yes, so we'll be going back to the start again. So we're going back to Abigail from York. These are the voluntary routines.
Most of these competitors will probably do the same routine.
Yeah, I imagine so. There's
Some
not
might
much
switch to set B, but
probably not.
Probably not.
Most people have chosen set A because they don't want to do that front drop.
Yeah.
No, I don't blame them.
Exactly.
But there isn't much scope for people to increase their difficulty in New 6. I think you can only make it 0.1 or 0.2.
You could probably add a back drop in. That would increase it slightly, but I don't think you could.
No, I think it would only increase you by 0.1 or 0.2. So most people don't opt to do that because the harder you make it, the more risk is involved. So you've got to decide whether that 0.2 extra is worth it.
Unless you were very confident with it, you probably wouldn't want to add it in.
A lot of people choose to change their second routine because they don't actually like a move in the set routine.
Yeah.
They want to get rid of it, compete it as few times as possible. But again, we mainly see that in the higher level competitors.
Yes. But what have we got warming up on the other trampoline? Is it Newt 2 and 3?
Yeah, I believe so. I think we've only got one competitor in the Newt 2, so the rest will be Newt 3. There's quite a long delay before this York competitor.
This is Abigail from York getting on for her second routine. She was very neat her first one.
She was very neat, wasn't she? Hopefully that long wait didn't put her off at all.
Yeah. Very neat half twist and straddle. It's a lovely shape.
Yeah. Very good body tension throughout.
Yes.
And pointed toes.
And very central as well.
Yeah. Very nice 2 routines.
Yeah.
I don't think she could have done much better on those 2.
I think she could be a contender in the York form points.
Definitely. And for a medal in this category as well.
Mm-hmm. I think it could be quite close in this category for medals.
Definitely. I think, we've seen some really good form scores from.
But is this the biggest category of the day?
I think so, yeah. I think so. I think this and the next category we'll see, Newt 3, are the 2 biggest categories for today.
Yeah.
Which is good because it shows that beginners can do the sport. You know, the majority of our competitors today are coming from that category. So definitely would encourage anyone to join either Lancaster trampolining or York trampolining.
Even in the higher levels, quite a lot of them have done trampolining before.
Yeah.
And have throughout the 3 years have progressed quite a lot. So now we have Zara doing her second routine.
Yes. Staying very central again.
Yes. Neat pike and neat half twist to seat.
Yes. Well done, Zara. That was very good.
Yeah.
Again, another 20 moves. She'll be very happy with that.
Yeah. Looks
good,
happy with
good.
that as well.
Definitely. Yeah, I don't think that could have gone much better for her. She's very happy with that. So next up we have Beth from Lancaster. She did a very nice set routine, didn't she?
She did. I think she medalled last year in Newt 6 at Roses.
I think so too. I think she might have won.
Yeah.
I think so.
So let's see if it's as neat in her second routine, or I wonder if she'll add in an additional move.
We'll see. Her leotard's looking very sparkly right now. Very nice straddle.
And a neat seat drop. Her legs are very together, which is good to see.
She's definitely limiting her deductions for each move.
That was very neat to finish.
Very neat. And very solid finish. Yeah, she'll be very happy with those 2 routines. So far, we're doing really well within this category.
Yeah. And it's nice to see everyone's very happy.
Exactly, cheering each other on. It's very nice.
It's a very supportive sport, trampolining.
Definitely. I think as well, it's an individual sport, but at university it doesn't feel that way because you've got such a big team supporting you. Yeah. Obviously at Roses we are a team.
Even in the Newt League, there are team medals.
There are
depending
team medals
on your category.
Yeah,
I think both Lancaster and York have medals for teams.
Definitely. Right, so we're back to Emily from Lancaster.
Slightly wobbly, but still very neat.
Some slight bent legs, but she's managed to keep it in right in the middle of the trampoline. Very good, 20 moves for first competition.
That's all you can hope for in your first competition.
Yeah, and I imagine that's probably a 9, 9, 10 on HD. I didn't see any real deviations from the middle.
Trying to see, but I can't
trying to
quite
peek at the whiteboards when they're holding up the scores, but you can't see from here, unfortunately.
If the judges were on the same side as us, it would be a lot easier to see what the scores were.
Yeah.
We thought we'd be able to get live scoring today, but unfortunately we do not have any signal for it. I think it's just so busy in here.
Yeah, so you're just going to have to stick around till the end to see who gets the medals.
So now we've got David from Lancaster doing his second routine.
Yes.
I mean, his was very neat, his first routine.
It was, yeah, definitely. Very central again.
Yes.
Seems very in control of the trampoline. Slight bent legs from those last two moves.
Nice tuck.
Just about got round in that full twist, so yeah, he'll be happy with that again. And we're back to Ellie Fisher from Lancaster.
Yes. So we've got, including her,
6 more?
6. There is a lot of people in this
category.
category.
There's a lot of people in Newt 6,
Feels like we've been doing Newt 6 for a very long time.
Yeah. Very competitive category as well. It's going to be very close on the medals.
That's the way it is at the Newt competitions as well. There's often a lot of people doing Newt 6.
Yeah. Yeah, they can be going all morning or all afternoon, just that category alone.
Yeah.
Which can be a bit difficult to judge, but it's nice seeing like all the new competitors in the sport and getting involved. Right, so Ellie is about to start. She just looks very solid on her imbalances.
She does.
She takes her time really on it.
And that is a lovely shape as well. And she's got like her legs are together and feet pointed.
She has really good line outs as well, brings her arms down to her side after every move.
Which isn't as common in this category, but should really help her form score.
Definitely. Yeah, it takes a bit of learning to do because it can put you a little bit off balance having your arms down, but you can see it really makes a difference to the form and how the move looks in the air.
Yeah. And then next from Lancaster is Bethany. Nice. Just waiting for her to start.
Quite a long wait.
Yeah.
Chair of the panel's walked off. It's coming back now, but it's a little bit
I think he went to
off-putting.
speak to someone on the other panel. Don't know what about.
I don't know.
But it'd be nice if we were by the judges and we could hear what was happening.
Yeah, give you a bit of insight knowledge, but yeah, I think as a judge I'd say a lot of these competitors are quite close together in terms of scores.
Yes.
So
it was very hard to say just from now who we think.
Exactly, it'll just be whoever's got the highest average across the judges, but it will be very close.
So this is Bethany. I think she's got quite a lot of height compared to some of the other people we've seen in this
especially
category.
on the not bouncy trampoline again. Putting a lot of effort in. Slightly wobbly on that move.
Neat pike and a neat half twister seat as well.
Very neat. Very nice full twist.
Yeah.
Very good. Yeah, should be happy with that one.
Yeah. And she looks happy with that routine as well.
Very. Right, so we've got 4 competitors left, all from Lancaster.
Yes. I also don't know what's happening in the volleyball, but it sounds very loud.
There's a lot of cheering, a little bit off-putting, but nobody on the trampoline seems to find it, so
which is quite good if you can block it all out.
Yeah, I feel like once you're on the trampoline, you kind of block out everything that's going on around you. You just got to focus in.
I think just for everyone watching, it's just quite a lot of noise.
Yeah.
I wonder if it's hard for the judges to
concentrate as well. Yeah. Be hard for the recorders because they have to listen to all the scores before they write them down.
That might be why it's taking a bit longer for each person
we'll have to keep
start.
repeating the scores.
So this is Karis from Lancaster.
She's doing well keeping her balance.
Yes.
Slightly wobbly, but managed to get it round.
Saved it. And neat tuck as well.
And a full twist.
Yeah.
Another
very
10
good end
moves
to that
routine.
And she looks happy with that as well.
She does.
So we've got another 3 competitors now, all from Lancaster. But we've got a lot of people watching today, which is nice.
It has gotten a little bit quieter from when we had the Uber and Newt one, but hopefully a lot of people stick around because there's still a lot more trampolining to come. Right, so this is Kieran
from Lancaster again. He's also got a lot of height.
Yes, a lot of height. Very central so far.
Not very pointed feet.
No, slightly bent legs, but
oh,
that's a shame.
So that will be 7 moves maybe because he didn't quite get round.
Basically, if you do an extra jump in between your moves, it stops the routine because it's counted as a non-move basically. So they'll only count up to that move.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, not 10 moves for him, but the ones he did do, he did well. Yeah. And I'm sure he won't be too disappointed in that. He's not competed a lot this year, so I believe his first roses.
A lot of people mess up first few times competing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's definitely takes a while to get used to the environment and kind of the warm-ups are being judged.
The first time I did Newt 6, I did 11 moves.
I remember that.
Yeah, you judged me on that.
I do remember that. You're only supposed to do 10.
I didn't
overachiever, didn't we call you?
Yeah, exactly. I should have got more points, I think.
Yeah, I think you get a 2-point penalty for doing an extra move.
I think.
I know.
But we are now on to Tommy from Lancaster.
It's the second to last competitor.
And then we'll be done with Newt 6. It does feel like it has been going for a while in Newt 6.
Yeah, it does.
He is just starting now.
Taking a few jumps to get ready. Slight leg flick. I imagine that's to help him keep balance.
Yeah. A lot of people do that. I think also do that without realising.
Yeah, it becomes a bit of a habit.
Yeah, like on his half twist there was a...
Yeah.
So there will be a bit of a penalty for that.
Slightly bent legs for each
I don't think he could decide what shape he was doing in the air.
I think he might have forgotten which move it was.
But
as it's his voluntary routine, it actually doesn't matter. If he'd have done that in his set routine, where you have to do the exact skill, it could become an issue, but either way in the voluntary it won't matter too much to him.
Yes. And then now we're on to the final Newt 6 competitor, which is Molly from Lancaster.
I wonder if we'll see another front drop.
That was true. It was a very neat her first routine as well.
It was very neat, yeah. Especially her full twist. I remember that being very neat.
Again, just a bit of a delay before she starts, probably deciding what they're doing about the unknown shape jump in Tommy's routine.
I think they'll be quite lenient with it. I think they'll give one of the moves. They'll give one or other, and they'll give a big penalty for the execution.
Yes.
But it shouldn't affect his difficulty score. Was what I was trying to say.
Yeah. She
Very
started
nice
with a full twist,
straddle.
which isn't what the routine normally starts with.
Yes, it's definitely set B. We're going to see a front drop in a minute. She
Very
does that
neat
quite
front
high
drop.
as well, so it's quite impressive.
Slight wobble to finish, but again, 20 moves.
Yeah, and that's Newt 6 done.
It's been a very successful category in Newt 6.
It has. It's interesting because York only had one competitor in the end, but that one competitor was very neat.
Yeah.
So she could be up there.
Yeah, I think the best, the most likely to medal will be Abigail from York, maybe Beth from Lancaster,
Ellie Fisher.
And Ellie from Lancaster.
Yeah, but we'll see later on. I think there's a couple of others that could push up into the medals too.
Yeah. And also some contenders for the form scores as well.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we have 3 or 4 people from that category.
So we are now going into Newt 2 and 3. I don't know how far we are into the warm-up or if we're on one touch.
I imagine they'll be starting one touch soon. They just need to move the judges over from the other panel.
So there's only one Newt 2 competitor, which is Lily from Lancaster.
Yes.
And
So she won't be competing for points again.
Yes.
But she does have very good execution scores, so I imagine we'll see her in the top 8 form scores.
And then there are 9 competitors in Newt 3. And we've got 2 from York, 7 from Lancaster.
Yeah, so this is the one that I think could be really interesting and could be a bit of a deal breaker in terms of who wins.
Yes.
Because the 2 York competitors are very neat. They're very neat. They both made the Bucks final, both medalled.
Did anyone from Lancaster make the Bucks final?
They didn't make finals, but they were close. And particularly Connie, she's won Newt 3 this year.
And she's very neat.
She's very neat. She's won a lot of medals. Lancaster have won quite a few team medals, and a lot of the team members have come from this category, so I think that will give them a lot of confidence today. But yeah, so I think this one will be quite close between them.
Yes.
But you'll definitely have the potential to score some high points in this category.
Yes. But there aren't any judges over on that panel yet, I don't think. So
No.
it might still be a while until
They compete.
we see any people start.
Yeah, I don't think they've started one touch yet.
Yeah.
But I think as well, this category, it could go any way because it just depends on who hits on the day. And I think having the trampolines be in Lancaster, like the Lancaster competitors being used to the trampolines we're competing on, that could give them a slight advantage today
Yes.
to chase those York competitors.
Yeah. We have lost quite a lot of supporters.
Yes.
It was very full behind us.
Yes.
But everyone who is here mostly has signs.
Yeah. Can you see any standout signs?
I mean, there's one that says they love us.
Well,
So
that's my favourite sign of the day.
my favourite as well. And we've got a selection of teddies in front of us.
Yeah, we do. That's
From-
quite a collection, including the LUTC teddy, which is called Rosie, after obviously roses.
Yep.
And she's actually wearing a replica leotard of
Yeah.
the new Lancaster leotard.
Which I know it was Anna's mum. Anna was president last year. Her mum made that leotard.
Yeah, she sewed out of a sample leotard.
So, but there's quite a collection in front of us. It's a shame you can't see them.
Yeah, they are all from Lancaster. I don't imagine York bought all their teddies
They probably
over here.
did not
They didn't get the memo.
to bring a teddy. I feel like it's not something that's normally done.
No, I don't think I've seen it before at Roses.
But we're getting something new, which
Yes.
is nice to see.
Yeah.
So this might be one touch we're seeing now because we've got Lily on.
Yeah, I reckon so. She will be the first competitor of this category. Again, she's Newt 2, the only competitor in Newt 2 today, but
And
she is very neat.
And she's also chosen the less bouncy bed.
Yeah, which is interesting, but I think she does tend to train on this trampoline, so that makes sense.
Yeah. And it's looking very neat. So
Very neat. I know Lily used to be a gymnast, and I feel like you can tell when she jumps. She's got very nice lines, very good form.
Yeah.
But I actually think the transition from gymnastics to trampolining can be harder than people expect.
Yeah.
Because obviously in gymnastics you tend to be, if you're tumbling, you tumble across the floor. With
Yeah.
trampoline you have to stay really central.
You want to go you don't want to move across because that's obviously what you would
Yeah.
be losing points for.
Exactly. So yeah, it's slightly every move should feel slightly different because
Yeah.
you have to stay in the middle of the trampoline.
I do think people who've done gymnastics often have very neat shape moves,
Yes, definitely, especially
very
their
neat
straddles
straddle.
and pikes. You can really tell because they've got that flexibility.
Yeah. But Connie is looking very neat on her one touch.
I like the red hair as well. It's very on
Yes.
theme
Yeah.
from her.
But again, we've got quite a lot of people. We've got 10 people who will be in this fight.
Yeah, so it's actually quite similar to Newt 6. It's got quite a lot of competitors too. But again,
Yes.
only 2 York competitors here today.
Yeah. This is Ellie May. But again, did we have Lily from York? I wonder if she's not taken her one touch.
Some people opt not to. I think if you've done a few warm-ups and it's been really neat, you sometimes don't opt to do a one touch because you feel like that you've done enough, it's going well. You don't want to get yourself too tired, because even though you're on the trampoline for probably about 30 seconds really, it's surprising how tired you can get, especially like the nerves, the adrenaline. You can get quite shaky legs, at least I used to get at competitions, and that can feel very strange when you're trying to jump up and down.
Yeah, it doesn't help with being neat.
No. Yeah, I think trampolining is a harder sport than people realise as well, like the amount of different muscles you use.
Yeah, and also because you're competing for such a short amount of time, it's quite hard sometimes, like once you get going in sports you often get easier, but because it's such a short time, by the time you're used to being on the trampoline, you've finished.
You could do something as simple as like moving your arm in a different way and you could be completely off, so it's very easy to not get your 10 moves. That's why practice is so important, muscle memory.
Yeah, because sometimes in the air you can't even remember your routine, but your body just knows it.
Yeah, exactly. That's probably the best position to be in, is you just body knows what it's doing. You don't have to think too much about it.
So we've now got Isabel doing her one touch.
Yes. Isabel is the club president for Lancaster this year. Actually, York's club president is in this category as well.
Yes.
Kira Barton will be third to last. On the back trampoline we have Polly. She's actually a fresher this year. She just moved up for the last competition from Newt 4 to Newt 3.
Newt 4 to Newt 3 is quite a big jump.
I think it's probably the biggest jump of them all, because in Newt 4
there's no linking somersault.
No, there's no.
You've got a tuck back at the start and a pike front at the end in set A.
Yeah, and this routine you've got a Barani right in the middle of the routine, and that could be really off-putting for some people. You've got to land it dead in the middle, not twist too much. I think another big jump is from Newt 3 to Newt 2. I think that's also when you're doing your tuck back, tuck Barani, you've got a crash dive.
Yeah, because a lot of people struggle with a crash dive.
Oh yeah, it's not nice.
Yeah.
I think you're better off actually skipping from Newt 3 to Newt 1. Because then the crash dive to feet is actually a really difficult skill, because it's really easy to go to a front drop. I've seen a lot of people do that.
Yes. So it looks like they are now just maybe getting ready to start.
Yeah, it looks like our HD judges are getting ready.
Yes.
So again, we're going to be starting with Lily from York, not from York, from Lancaster, sorry, in our Newt 2 category. So she will just be competing for form score today. And I think she might come first place in her category.
I think she will come first place.
Yeah, well done, Lily, in advance.
I have a very good feeling about that.
Congratulations.
But
it is a bit of a weird feeling being the only one in your category.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a shame, but it's just the way it works out sometimes.
In this case, there's always something that you're competing for, like, because the form points.
Yeah, which I think that's a really good addition, is the form scores.
Has it always been the form scores for Rosa's points, or has it changed?
I think we changed the judging scores in 2017. Before that, it was completely different. It was all about not where you place, but like your actual score itself. Right, so we're starting now with Lily. This is her set routine.
There's a lovely straight back.
Very straight body.
And a lovely straddle.
The gymnastics straddle was beautiful. All slightly off balance.
But she saved it well.
She did. Very nice crash dive as well. She'll be very happy with that, I imagine.
Yeah, and it looked very neat.
Very neat. Yeah, I think you can tell with her body shapes in the air she was a gymnast.
Yes.
For sure.
So it's now moving on to Newt 3, and the first competitor for Newt 3 is Connie from...
That's Lily from York. Well, we'll keep you updated on the running order. This is actually Lily from York. I imagine Connie will be going later on.
Yeah. They've just done it to confuse us.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Probably. Thankfully, I think I know all the competitors in this one, so I should be able to keep track of who is who.
Yeah.
So Lily, I think, was president last year for York Trampolining.
Her top says captain.
I think she's captain this year.
Okay.
President last year. I might be wrong, but definitely been on the exec a few years.
Very neat.
She's got a lovely routine.
That was very neat straight back, and a very neat straddle as well.
Very central as well. be very happy with this so far.
Yes.
Slight bent legs on that backdrop, but that's the only form thing I've really seen.
I think, there's not much else you could critique on that.
No, I think
and a very good
good.
HD score.
Yeah, I think the only thing, bent legs in the backdrop and a slightly late kick out on that tuck front, but everything else was really, really neat.
But yeah, she should be very happy with that. So I presume now we'll have Connie.
We will see.
We'll
Time
see
will
who gets
tell.
on the trampoline.
Yeah, but I think that will be a hard to beat routine. I think that was really, really neat.
I think, Newt 3 will be very competitive today.
Yeah. Definitely.
There's just a slight wait now while they count up the points.
And
Again, probably because they can't hear over volleyball.
Yeah, and we don't know who's getting on next. It could be Connie. It could be Ellie May. We'll let you know. It looks like Connie's getting ready to get on the trampoline.
And who have we got warming up? Is it Newt 5 on the other panel? Just getting ready to start.
4.
Newt 4?
No. Yeah, Newt 4.
Newt 4.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, I can see, There's just now a bit of a wait. I don't know what's being discussed.
I don't know either, because that was a very nice routine. So
Yeah.
I don't imagine they're questioning any of the moves themselves.
No.
Yes, looks like they're ready to go. So this is going to be Connie. Unsure why they switched orders.
Yeah. Maybe it was accidental.
But I think by the looks of it, their faces just then, I think it might have been.
Yeah. But
It doesn't really matter
no.
too much, to be fair, as long as the judges score the right person.
Yes.
Yeah, so Connie's done very well in the league this year. She's won multiple medals.
Looking very neat to start with, warming up.
Yes, very pointed toes. Slightly loose tuck brani, but the tuck jump afterwards was beautiful.
Nice pike as well.
Very straight legs in that backdrop. And a lovely kick out on that as well. So I thought she might have touched then, but she
variation
didn't.
in her HD because she did finish quite far on that side.
Yes, very nearly touched them out,
10
but she
moves.
didn't. So
she'll be happy.
I think for that routine was very neat. I think the tuck brani would be the move that maybe gets her more deductions out of everything, because it wasn't quite a tight tuck, but everything else was beautiful, especially that back drop. Very straight legs, which is hard to do.
Yeah, it feels quite natural to throw yourself backwards on a trampoline.
Yeah, you really have to trust yourself and trust your body knows what it's doing and where you're going to land.
So next, if our
list is correct,
it will be Ellie May.
Yes. She looks like she's about ready to get on, so I imagine that is correct.
Yes.
Ellie May's another one who's moved up recently into this category. She was in Newt 4 for most of the comps this year. But she's also very neat. Yeah, I think she moved up at Bucks. So she's done a couple of competitions now in Newt 3. Yes,
before trampolining
she
as
did.
well.
I think it's another one where you can tell in the air that she was a
Yes.
gymnast just because of the really neat form.
Looks like she's jumping quite high.
She does, definitely. Very nice straight back.
Yes.
Slightly
she's got
wobbly.
a lot of height.
So much height. It's a shame time of flight's not being counted.
It would definitely work in her favour.
Slightly bent legs here and there. But overall,
a lovely
very
routine,
neat.
very neat.
Yeah. Very neat.
She'll be very happy with that.
Definitely. And I feel like the height just makes it look so much nicer as well. It's just so much time in the air
And
to
she
do all
looks
the
very
moves.
happy with that as well.
She does, yeah.
And
Very
she
good
should
routine,
be.
definitely.
So next should be Luke from Lancaster. I'm going to presume our order is right now.
I think so. I think maybe the first two just got on.
Yes. But
in
yeah,
the
it looks
wrong
like
order.
Luke is getting on.
Yeah. No, I don't think Luke's competed in Newt this year. It'll be interesting to see how he does today.
Because he's, the only male in this category.
I think so, which can be a bit daunting.
Yes.
But to be fair, the men have done very well today so far.
Yeah.
They've been very neat.
He's got quite a lot of height as well.
He does, taking his time to get central. We've had some very nice straight backs in this category. Slightly wonky on that tuck,
but a nice tuck shape.
Yeah, he's brought it back to the middle.
And a nice pike as well.
And nice straight legs on that back drop. I'm sure he'll be very happy with that.
Yeah.
His somersaults were all slightly wonky. Slightly facing the corner, but it didn't seem to affect the rest of the routine.
And he finished in the middle. His HD seemed relatively central as well.
Yeah, definitely.
So he'll be happy with that.
Definitely. Very good, very impressive. So next up we have Sophie from Lancaster, getting on the trampoline right now. She's opted for the less bouncy trampoline. Keep wanting to call it the dead bed, but it is just the less bouncy trampoline. I think Sophie's another one who used to be a gymnast. Slightly piped on that straight back, but the straddle was beautiful.
And a nice tuck.
Yeah.
She's looking very neat. That was a nice backdrop as well.
Yeah, we've had quite a few nice backdrops in this category. Slightly late kick out on that tuck front, but yeah, overall.
But another very neat routine.
Very nice routine. Can tell she's a gymnast.
Yes.
For sure.
Next we will have Isabel from Lancaster, the current president.
Yes. She's actually medalled at all roses that she's competed in so far, so hopefully she'll get a medal today.
I'm sure she'll be wanting one.
I'm sure she will, but I think the most important thing to her will be Lancaster winning. So
she doesn't look the happiest.
She's looking a little bit scared, but I think that's quite normal for her.
I think she had quite a stressful day getting all this organised.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot of work. She actually does a really good second routine as well. It's a very fun routine. She mixes up quite a lot.
I have seen videos of that.
Yeah, I can look forward to that in a little while.
Just getting ready to start.
She did give us a fun fact. That she jumps for ages before she does her routine, so you can see she's doing a lot of bounces before she gets going.
I mean, it's important to feel ready as well.
It is, yeah. Good line out. Lost her height slightly in that Trampoline, but she's brought it back up.
Yes.
Another
nice
good,
backdrop.
yeah. She's going to be really happy with that. Yes. She's got a really nice kick out on that
tuck
front. She really kicks it out.
I know she's worked on that quite a lot. And she looks very happy with
that routine.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that means we get to see her really fun routine for the second one.
Yeah, so hopefully she'll be happy with that.
She looks very. Right, we're going to move back up to a York competitor now. This is Kira. Again, another Bucks finalist, so expect a really nice routine here.
And did you say she was the York president?
Yes, I think so, yeah. She also jumps nice and high as well.
Yeah, she is on the bouncier trampoline. I feel like there has been a definite difference.
Yeah.
That was a lovely straight back.
Lost her form slightly in the air, but she's brought it back.
Very neat Barani and tuck.
Nice line outs.
This is looking very neat.
Very good. Slight leg bend, but not too much. Very good.
Tuck front to end.
That was very neat. She did lose a bit on HD at the end. She did move towards the end deck, but
it is very hard to not lose anything on your HD though, and to stay completely central.
And this is kind of where the home trampolines makes a difference as well, the HD.
Yes.
I feel like when you're used to the trampoline, it's a lot easier to stay in the middle.
Definitely.
But I think she will be happy with that routine. There was a slight loss in form in the legs occasionally, but generally very neat.
I've got someone else from Lancaster.
Got Polly.
Now.
Again, this is a fresher this year. Also jumps nice and high. Slight bent body and bent legs, but it's gone a little bit wrong right there.
Yeah. So this is the set routine, which she's not quite done.
Yeah, she's done her voluntary routine here instead of her set routine, I think. So unfortunately, I do believe this will only count out of 3 moves rather than out of 10. But it's easily done, like if you plan a second routine and you just forget in the moment and you do the wrong move.
Yeah, she looks like she knows, but
bless her. Well, it's her first roses, so plenty of time to redeem herself in second year.
And we are now, is it the final competitor in Nuke 3?
Lena.
I think Lena has also moved up this year. She was in Nuke 4 before.
Yep. Yeah, I think they might take a little while marking Polly's score. But it should just be out of 3 moves. So a maximum score from each judge will just be 3 rather than 10.
But
so that's what the little delay here will be.
It can be off-putting when you're waiting to start and they're taking their time.
But it takes a lot more maths from the judges when it's not out of 10.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and then if you've written it down slightly wrong, it just throws everything off.
Yeah. It's a good thing she kept going though, because she did 10 moves. It just wasn't the right 10 moves. But I'm sure we'll see her do that again in her second routine. And
yes.
it was neat what she did do.
And technically she did 10 moves. Might not have been 10 correct moves, but it was 10 moves.
And it was nice to see her smile while she was doing it as well. Yeah, so this is the last competitor doing their set routine, and then we'll move on to voluntary routines. And I think we will see some variety in the voluntary routines in this category.
Yes. Lena looks very neat jumping. And she's already competed today. She had cheerleading this morning.
Oh, really?
So I bet she's tired.
Tiring.
Slight wobble on the Barani, but she saved it.
Lovely half twist jump.
A nice backdrop again.
I think the Lancaster girls must have worked on this straight leg backdrop because they've all managed to do it very nicely.
That was lovely from Lena, and she looks very happy with that.
I think she recovered really well after that Barani.
Yeah. I feel like we've got more supporters now than before.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely filled out again.
Yeah.
So we're going back to the beginning, and we've got Lily from Lancaster from Newt 2
the Newt
to do
2
her
winner.
voluntary routine. Yeah, Newt 2 winner. I predict it right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
So
it's Newt 4 still warming up on the other side.
yeah, so Lily will be doing a slightly more difficult routine than the other girls in this category. Well, in this flight.
Yeah. I wonder how her vol will be different.
I wonder. I imagine she might actually take out that crash dive, but we'll see. She looks like she's struggling to hear the.
Yeah. It is very loud with volleyball.
It's very
still.
loud. She's just checking the orders right, marking the right person.
Yeah.
Can be a bit confusing otherwise.
But she is now starting her second routine.
Definitely. She gets on with it quickly, doesn't she?
That was a nice straight back.
Very nice straight back, straight Barani and straddle jump.
Yeah.
A little bit late kickouts on those tuck shapes, but
they're very neat
neat.
Otherwise.
Yeah, so she's opted for the same routine again.
That was a lovely crash dive.
Very nice. She'll be happy with those two
Very
routines.
neat.
Yeah.
A winning routine.
Yeah, definitely, for sure. But I also think maybe a top 8 form score routine.
And she looks happy with it, so.
I think as well, like, we've said quite a lot of people top 8 form scores.
We
so
have.
Kind of shows that everyone's doing really well.
Yeah.
It could be anyone who counts in that top 8.
And I think the form scores will probably make the winner today. So
yeah, it's hard to know so
I think
far.
it's going to be very close.
Very close. Right, so this is Lily from York. Back to Newt 3 again now.
Yes. She was very neat in her first routine.
Very good. Yeah, she'll definitely be up there looking for first place.
Very neat and central straight
I
back.
love her straddle jumps, very neat. Oh, she is doing a different routine. She's changed it up a little bit.
It's neat Barani.
Very neat. So she's making this routine slightly more difficult to get more points. And it was very neat, it was very central. I actually think that might have been better than her set routine.
I agree. And she looks very happy with it as well.
I think she took out the backdrop, which is probably her least neat move in the set routine.
Yes.
So yeah, very,
so that
very
is what's
good.
nice about a vault. You can really make it.
Yeah, you can put your best moves in. For sure.
But
I think next we're going to have Connie from Lancaster. Stretching to get ready.
yeah. And she was very neat in her set.
Yeah,
I don't know
very
if her vol is different.
I don't think it is. I might be wrong though. We shall see.
It's taking a while to start, but there's nothing wrong with that. Very neat straddle.
Slight leg bend. And I think that was a pipe Barani. Oh, she has changed
yeah, there's
it.
full twist in the middle, which not a lot of people choose to do.
No, but it's worth 0.1 more than the after.
That
She
was
also
a
did a
nice
pipe front.
Yeah.
Which is worth 0.1 more than the tuck front that was in the set. So
that was a very good routine, and again, she's looking happy with that.
yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's hard to call really.
Yeah.
Who's going to win this?
This is going to be such a close category.
Yeah. It's as close as I imagined it being before it started.
Yes.
So
But that's good because it means that everyone is performing at their best.
Exactly, which is what you want.
Which is good to see.
Yeah.
Because this is the final competition of the season for Trampolining.
It is, yes. We had the final league competition last weekend.
So for some people, this might be the last time they compete.
Yeah, I think for quite a lot of people it'll be the last time, which is a shame. But in trampolining, you actually get an alumni year in the league, so you can come back and compete for your university and still count towards points and things for a year after you graduate.
And we've now got Ellie May again, who had a very neat first routine.
I wonder if she'll jump as high in the second one. She jumped very high.
I think she will. She has got a lot of height.
She does. But I think that really helps her form.
Yeah. Starting with slight bent legs at the end, but still very neat.
Slightly loose arms in that tuck brani, but I think her leg form. Oh, she's doing a different routine. So that was a tuck back to seat. Slight leg bend getting up from it.
Lovely pike front at the end.
Beautiful.
Another very neat routine.
So a lot of these competitors are doing voluntary routines that are different from their set, so they're upping their difficulty. So they're really putting it all out there to get as high scores as they can, which obviously makes it a lot more competitive than it could have been anyway. So impressive. So next up we have Luke from Lancaster. We've still got quite a few. I think we're only halfway through this category for their voluntary routines, so quite a few to go. And
then we've still got Newt
4 and then 5 in elite. So we've got 2 more flights of competitors after this one. So yes, this is Luke from Lancaster. Getting ready to go. I am impressed of how high a lot of these trampolinists are going today.
Yeah.
Because it's easier to jump lower when you're nervous, but it ultimately helps your scores if you do jump higher because you have more time to get the moves in.
Because you can feel a lot more wobbly as you get higher.
Yeah, exactly. And if your legs are a little bit shaky.
Slightly off centre, and
managed to bring it back.
Saved it nicely.
Yeah. Oh, and another voluntary routine. So
with another tuck back to seat.
Yeah.
It is quite a popular move.
It is quite popular. It's quite a nice move actually.
Yeah.
But yeah, slightly off balance on all of his somersaults, but he managed to keep going and bring it back to the middle each time. Next up we have Sophie from Lancaster on this front bed.
Yes.
I wonder if we'll see another voluntary routine if she'll opt for the tap back seat.
Most of these routines have changed, so I'm expecting to see another change.
Yeah. I hope so, because if everyone else is doing it, then you need to also increase your difficulty to match or make your routine even neater.
Exactly. But she looks very neat at starting and starts quite quick.
She does. Beautiful straddle jump. I think this is going better than her set routine so far.
Very pointed toes on that.
Yeah, top back to seat again. They're all opting for it today.
And a lovely pike front at the end.
Very good.
And she looks happy with that as well.
She looks very happy with that. Yes, they are going all out today.
And next we've got Isabel from Lancaster.
Now this is probably my favourite routine to watch. It would be my least favourite to do.
Yeah, the judges probably aren't going to like judging difficulty on it.
No, in the league.
If she does this routine.
I saw her warming up, so I imagine she will do.
Yeah,
I've been in the league all year when she's competed this, and the difficulty judges just shake their head in hands. They don't like it. She throws kind of a weird move. It's called a back pullover in the middle of your routine, and I don't think I've ever seen anyone do it.
But
no, it's not a common move at all in a routine.
But she does like a lot of inbounces before she starts.
But yeah, back pullover is more of just a fun move you throw in training. So for her to pull it out in the middle of a routine, it is worth more points. So
you may as well for the difficulty.
Yeah. But she also does a lot of front somersaults in this routine, in the middle of the routine.
Which is very unusual.
Yeah, you normally end with a front somersault.
Straight back to start.
There's one of the front somersaults.
Front.
Second one.
Tuck front, half twist.
And this is the back pullover. Oh, she doesn't do it.
After we hyped it up as well.
No, she went for more difficulty. That's the most difficult routine she's done all year. Normally she would do a full twist instead of a Barani at the end. So,
but
yeah,
she looks happy with it.
Very happy.
So she said she went a little bit wrong.
Yeah, but that was more difficult than the routine she normally competes. So I think that actually might be max difficulty. So I don't think she could have gone harder than that. Okay, so
might be less competitive on form scores, but difficulty.
It's trade-off, isn't it?
But next is Kira from York.
Yes, so this was a very neat set routine. So hopefully she can do the same with her vol. I think she does do a different routine as well for her second routine. So this will be interesting to see. Again, jumps nice and high.
Yes. Again, got quite a lot of inbounces before she starts.
Yes.
Lovely
Beautiful,
straight back. This is looking really neat so far.
Very neat. Beautiful seat drop. But yeah, again, it's differing from the normal routine.
Another forward somersault in the middle of a routine.
Yeah,
very
2
unusual,
front somersaults.
But very neat as well.
Yeah, it was very neat. I think that was neater than her set routine, which was hard to beat as it was.
It is going to be, I really don't know in this category.
No, I don't either. I think it's going to be very tight. There's a lot of good form, a lot of difficulty being thrown out.
I think generally HD has been quite consistent.
Yes,
everyone's been very central with the odd wobble.
Definitely, yeah.
So
hard to call.
Yes.
Have to wait until the end.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we've got 2 more competitors, both from Lancaster, ready to go. So next up will be Polly. And in the first routine, this is when Polly messed up, didn't she?
Yes.
She did her voluntary routine first, rather than her set routine.
One, you can do whatever moves you want as long as it falls in the difficulty.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
You don't have that
whichever
worry.
one she does is fine here.
Yeah.
Hopefully she'll do the voluntary because it was a very nice routine.
It did look very neat, even with her probably getting kind of mentally confused with what's going on.
Oh, she starts with a different combination. She starts with a tuck back tuck Barani. Very nice so far.
Yes.
Yeah, very different routine. Another one with 2 front somersaults.
That has been quite popular.
Very popular.
A neat routine.
Very good. And because she's linking somersaults, that actually does her really well to move up to Newt 2 next year.
That's true.
Because that's a requirement of moving up to the next category.
And that is what a lot of people struggle with.
Yeah, it is a lot more difficult because you have to really time when you land in the trampoline to when you take off for the next somersault. If you go too quick, you'll go flying. If you go too slow, it will struggle to get round. So it is really a matter of timing it perfectly. Right, so on to our last competitor in this category. We've got Lena from Lancaster. She's laughing before she's going, so hopefully she's getting a little bit more relaxed. We've got a long wait.
But yeah, it's a bit of a pause before she's starting.
Yeah. I think that's definitely the worst feeling, is just standing there waiting. Especially when there's lots of spectators waiting for you to go.
But
looks like she's ready though.
Yeah.
Now, if she does a different second routine, I think we've had different voluntary routines from each of the competitors in this category.
That is, I think, obviously as you get more difficult, that does become a lot more common.
Yeah, it's still quite unusual though to have every competitor do, but it just shows that they're doing all out today to try and get those points.
And I guess because we are quite a lot, we're nearly at the end of the year.
Exactly.
People have had all year to work on their routines, and it's nice to show it's paying off.
Definitely. Slightly wobbly on that straddle and Barani, but she's keeping going.
She looks a bit confused. I wonder if this was what she was planning to do, but it's looking neat, so...
Yeah. She doesn't look that happy with that routine, but I'm impressed that she did 20 moves. So.
Yeah. So...
Yeah.
That is Newt 3 finished with.
It is, so we're going to move on to Newt 4 next on the other trampolines. So we'll probably have another pause again while they finish doing their one touch before they start competing.
They have been warming up for quite a while, so presumably they're nearly ready for one touch.
I assume so, yeah. I think it'll probably start straight away.
But we aren't running behind anymore, actually.
Oh, we've caught up. That's
so
great news.
The warm-up for Newt 4 was meant to begin at 7:05. So we're actually
Actually,
ahead.
That's impressive for starting half an hour.
I don't think this has ever happened at a trampolining competition.
No, I think it's
running
quite
ahead.
impressive. Normally it's like 2-3 hours behind.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But that's quite good because it's already quite long.
Yeah, very good scheduling from Lancaster.
Yeah. But
Good
we are
planning.
over halfway through now. We've only got
2 categories. Well,
3 categories, but 2 flights.
yes, exactly.
And we don't have many in New Elite, I don't think.
No,
anyway.
I think we've only got 2 competitors in Newt Elite, which is the last one. But quite a lot of competitors in Newt 5, which are jumping with them.
Yeah, in Newt 4 we have got 10.
Yeah, quite an even split between Lancaster and York.
6
from York.
4 from Lancaster,
yeah, so
which means all
points are up for grabs
yes.
today.
We've not had many categories where all points have been up for grabs so far.
No, but yeah, I think this is the most competitors York have had in a category.
Yes.
First time they've outnumbered Lancaster anyway in the category.
Yes.
So, yeah. I think they look like they're nearly ready to
start.
Yeah.
But we are seeing a lot of signs.
A lot of signs.
I can't really read all of them from here.
No, me either. I don't know if York have any.
I have seen a few, but not that many. There's a big pile of Lancaster signs.
Yeah, I think they did a social where they sat down in the sun and made loads of signs for roses.
We've got a "Don't Disappoint Jonathan" sign from Lancaster. Jonathan is the Lancaster coach.
He is.
So
don't disappoint Jonathan.
I don't think he would be very disappointed.
No,
in
not today, not so far anyway.
Yeah.
I think everyone's done really well. We've seen a lot of people get 20 moves, which is the target today. And I can't call it which team's going to win. It's going to be very close. So, yeah,
but
it'll be
we have
interesting.
got a bit of a delay. There's no judges at the panel. Probably having a bit of a break.
Short break while they get.
Probably because we are ahead.
That's true.
They've got the time to have a break.
Yeah,
which
and
is
a lot of
nice.
these judges are going straight from competing to judging, so it might be that some of them want a little quick break before they start judging again.
Yes.
I do get the impression we're on one touch now, though.
Yes.
We shall see.
Because they have been warming up while
the others
2 and 3 were competing.
Yeah.
But
there's a lot of chanting coming over from volleyball.
Yeah, I have no idea what the score is.
No.
But it's loud.
Yeah, and I can't tell who's cheering either. It could be Lancaster or it could be York. So
yeah. But
yeah, our spectators, there's not quite as many as there was at the start, but we've still got quite a good turnout so far.
But we've got all the people from York supporting, all the people from Lancaster supporting.
Yeah.
And it is nice in trampolining. Everyone does cheer on each other.
Yeah, exactly.
Everyone here wants everyone to get 20 moves.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I think there's quite good sportsmanship between the two teams.
But
quite a rivalry too, for sure.
Yes.
But especially with how close it's been in recent years. You never quite know how it's going to go on the day. And that's definitely holding true for today as well. You don't know which way it's going to go.
Although it's nice that it's so close because everyone's doing well rather than everyone crushing out.
Yeah, because sometimes it can be that loads of people crash and it's just who gets through their routines the most out of the two teams. But today we've not seen that. It's really just been everyone putting their best out there.
Yeah.
And we'll see who comes out on top.
But it doesn't really look like anyone's getting ready to get on.
No, there's still no judges at panel, so maybe we are having a quick little break.
Oh, they're having a break. Okay.
Fantastic.
Okay, so we're having a break until 10 past.
Nice. We're going to have an interview from Lancaster's president at the halfway point. So Isabel, you just got off the trampoline.
Yeah.
How did you think it went?
Well, it could have gone better. It wasn't what I was planning on doing when I got on the trampoline, but that's okay. I did finish her moves.
It was a difficult routine as well today, wasn't it? Your second routine? Yeah. So I think that was quite important because everyone was kind of going all out in that final. Most people did a lot of difficulties, so.
I actually thought it was seriously interviewing me. But yeah, well, I just realised I was all the way and like back there, and I was going to try and go backwards more, and I was going to end on the mat. So I was like, what should I do? And then I remembered my routine from last year.
Yeah, it was very quick thinking on the spot.
And you got 20 moves.
Exactly.
So
Yeah. What do you have anything to say about the other people competing today that you've seen so far?
I just think everyone's done so well, and everyone's been really friendly and really loud. We've had loads of people watching, and I'm having a great time, but my spreadsheet is broken, so I'm going to try and fix that.
Okay, we'll let you go and enjoy that. Love you, bye. Yeah, so that was Lancaster president just giving us a quick update. Hopefully we can get you some more interviews while we're on this quick fake. We still have about 10 minutes before they start.
no one's looking over at us. Can't get anyone's attention.
No, not yet. We'll keep a lookout though.
Yeah.
So it looks like the Newt 4 competitors are still having occasional goes on the trampoline just to stay warm while they wait.
But it can be probably quite disconcerting almost, because they've had such a long warm-up time
Yeah.
and now a pause.
Yeah, it's difficult. But they will still all have their one touch after the break, I'm sure. So they'll have another touch of the trampoline before they compete.
Yes.
But
I
I think it's quite nice for the judges to have a break, have a breather. Sort the score sheet out. Oh. Yeah, so we've got 2 categories left. So it's 20 competitors overall, so 40 more routines before we can find out.
And then
who
probably
wins.
a bit of a delay counting up the points.
Yeah,
calculating
usually
who's
they
won.
set down the trampoline while they're working out the points, and then we'll do the medal ceremony and reveal which university
That's
has
the other
won.
thing about trampolining. We have to set it all up and down ourselves.
Yes. Yeah, you missed the start where we set up all the trampolines. It's a lot of effort. All this equipment is really
Yes.
heavy. Lots of mats,
And
lots of safety equipment.
some of the trampolines, actually the wheels have been fixed. They were fixed last year.
Yes. Yeah.
But
So actually setting up the trampolines can be slightly more tiring than some of the
it's
trampolining
definitely
itself.
more tiring.
There's quite a lot of people to help out today, so that
And
made it slightly
they
easier.
apparently did practice setting up to make sure they could do it as quickly as possible.
Yeah, they knew they only had a 15-minute
Yeah.
window, so they practiced
So they all
speed.
had a job.
Yeah, they planned it all out to perfection. It went on very quickly.
And Lancaster have also got some new nice push-in mats. We have many push-in mats now at Lancaster.
Yeah, I think we've got more push-in mats than we do trampolines. I think maybe double the amount of push-in mats.
But it's good safety's a priority.
Yeah, I'm not sure I'd want 2 mats flying
No,
at the
neither
same
would
time
I.
though, so 4 is probably enough for 4 trampolines.
But
So push-in mats, if you don't know, they're the
Yes.
little mats that are by the side of the trampoline that you hold up. You don't have to hold them up, but some people want them there so that if something goes wrong, someone can push it in while you're doing your routine, just to make the landing a little bit softer if something goes wrong.
It's especially helpful when you're first doing routines for the
Yeah,
first time, because
definitely.
your best move could go wrong when you're doing it after something new.
Yeah, exactly. It's just a peace of mind that, there's something there just in case.
Yes.
But most of the time, nobody has it in the competition. If the mat goes in, your routine stops counting from that point. So I think in competition, unless it's looking very, very
People
great.
don't want to stop your routine if you could
Exactly.
keep going.
So as long as it's not dangerous, they won't
Yes.
put the mat in and you'll keep going, keep scoring.
I'm interested to know what's happening in the volleyball, because it's felt like it's gone on a long time. I don't know how long a volleyball game normally goes
No,
on
I actually
for.
don't know anything about volleyball, so I
was
couldn't.
watching it earlier and I didn't really understand it.
Well, yeah, and I don't think there's live scores up. Sometimes on the scoreboard they have the score,
Yeah.
but not entirely sure. But there's been a lot of cheering.
I think it's first to 25 points.
Okay.
But I don't know how many times they have to get to 25 points. We have very limited knowledge of volleyball.
Very limited knowledge, and there's been a lot of cheers, but I don't know which team is cheering.
Exactly. So,
but it doesn't seem to have put off any of the trampolining competitors
No.
today. So
which is quite good, because it definitely could have done.
yeah.
We've still got people warming up for Newt 4,
Yeah, it seems only the York competitors are choosing to keep
Yes.
warming up.
but they said starting again at 10 past, that's in 3 minutes time.
Yeah, so I imagine we'll see the Lancaster competitors to move back on over.
Yes.
But yeah, it's interesting that this category has more York people than Lancaster, but against
Yeah.
what we've seen so far.
Yes.
But it'll give them a higher chance of getting more points in this category, so
Yeah.
yes. hope they do well.
Everyone's looking very ready. I think everyone's enjoying the break.
Yeah, everyone seems very happy so far with how they've done. Everyone's chatting and yeah, very good environment right now.
Yeah. Well, looks like they are about to start again. I think some of the judges are going round to the panel now.
Yes.
I don't think they all are. I think just a couple of them are.
Just 2 of the Lancaster judges,
Yeah.
but hopefully everyone else gets the memo too and we can get going again. I think it's all run very efficiently so far, so
Yes, that is good.
yeah.
It's all been very organised.
Yeah, it can be very stressful to organise these events when you've got so many competitors, so many judges, so many categories. It can be really difficult.
And also because, like we said before, everyone competing is probably judging, most of them, but...
Exactly.
It looks like they are getting ready to go now.
Yeah. And it takes quite a mental shift to go from jumping to judging straight away.
Yes.
Especially if you're nervous when you're jumping and you get a bit shaky like I do, and then you got to hold a pen and try and score a routine.
And especially if you've not done that much judging, it can be equally as...
Yeah, because sometimes it raises people with judging who don't normally judge at competitions. They're qualified, but they normally opt not to do it. But because obviously we've got quite a limited judging pool today, then they kind of have to do their part.
Everyone who is qualified has
to judge, yeah. I think it's quite nice to judge. You get a bit of an insight into the scores and see how well Lancaster are doing.
I do
especially
quite
if
like
you're a
HD
recorder.
judging as well.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
apart from when you have to run in between the 2 trampolines.
Yeah, that's true. You want to be on the end so you can go round.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, the recorder, that's quite a nice job because you do get to see the score sheet as you're filling in scores. So you have an inside view. Although I think it's top secret, so they can't share that information.
And from what it sounded like, didn't sound like the spreadsheet was properly updating. So
no, well, I think she's sorted it now though, so hopefully there won't be a delay at the end and go straight to results after packing up.
Yes, hopefully.
We've not started yet. Judges are still not at panels, and nobody is currently on the trampolines.
Yeah,
so
no one looks like they're very stressed. Not stressed.
No,
but
no one's moving at pace to get on the trampoline.
Yeah.
But, should we have a look at who's competing in this category? Right, so from Lancaster we have Owen Williams. He was the Newt 4 season champion for this year.
He was.
He's done very well. Libby, she did very well at Bucks as well. Came just outside of the top 8 to make that final. I think it's potential for quite a few points for York here as well.
Yes.
And Lancaster, so it could go either way in this category.
And with
easily
all 3 top points counting, it will be an important category.
Yeah, it's one of the highest scoring categories today. And while Newt 4 are competing, Newt 5 and Elite, the last category, will be warming up on the other panels.
And more people going back to warm up. I wonder if this is warm up or one touch.
Yes. One or other. They're back jumping again.
Yes.
I imagine they'll probably get one more warm up before one touch, and then
they've had a nice long amount of time to warm up.
Yeah.
And then we've actually got what looks like Newt 5 beginning to warm up on the other panel.
Yeah, so they're getting started early on the warm up, but
that can be beneficial, especially for York who aren't used to these trampolines.
Exactly, yeah.
Because we do have
take your time a bit
especially
more.
Newt Elite from York who will be doing their more higher level moves. They want to make sure they're used to our trampolines at Lancaster.
And Newt Elite is going to be head-to-head. There's only one competitor from York and one competitor from Lancaster, so somebody's getting 30 points of those 2 competitors, so it's quite high stakes in that category.
But I wonder if it is one touch, because we do seem to be going one at a time on that panel.
Yeah.
But
it's either that or people have warmed up enough already and just waiting to go for the real thing.
We've got a lot of judges gathered at the panel.
Yes, not sat down.
But gathered.
Yeah.
I think the HD judges are over there. You can see them with whiteboards. So
yeah, more judges are sitting down now. So yeah, it looks like they'll be ready to go soon, hopefully, and we can get back going again.
Yeah. But yeah, it means Newt 5 and Elite are going to have a really long time to warm up.
Yeah, hopefully they take it nice and slow and don't rush.
I think it is one touch because we had Libby from Lancaster, then 2 people from York, and now
And
we've
then
got Ellie
yeah,
from
so I think
Lancaster.
I think we're one touch because we do one touch in order of when you compete. So yeah, that would make definite sense today. It is interesting that Lancaster, a lot of their gymnasts have chosen the not bouncy trampolines versus the bouncy ones.
That is true.
I don't know if it's a way to control nerves because if you're not bouncing as high, it is a little bit easier. On the bouncy trampolines, if you get a bit of shaky legs, then you can go a little bit all over the place, whereas dead beds kind of absorb the landing a little bit.
Yes. So this is probably Sasha from York
I
doing
think
one
so.
touch.
Yes.
But so far, everyone we've seen from Newt 4 warming up has looked very neat.
Very neat, yeah. So Newt 4 is a category where you have 2 somersaults. So you start with a tuck back and you end with a pipe front for set A. Set B, I don't think we'll see any. I'm not entirely.
Yes.
I think it starts with a pipe back for set B.
It does. I think
and
it
has a
starts
half twist to front drop.
Yes.
Yeah.
So,
But I've not seen anyone sign of doing that today. I think Newt 4 is quite. It actually only got added as a category a couple of years ago. It got split from Newt 5, which only has one routine, and it's the exact same routine as Newt 4, but the somersault at the end is a tuck front instead of a pipe front. And then Newt 5 only has the one somersault, so it's a full twist instead of a tuck back. So it's quite an easy transition between the moves.
Yeah, and the actual kind of middle bit of the routine is nice and similar.
Yeah, it's exactly the same. It's just the first and the last move that changes.
Yeah.
And they did that because so many people were in that Newt 5 category that it was. So they split it in 2. I mean, there wasn't quite such a jump from doing one somersault to doing 3 that are in Newt 3. So that.
But
that
they
extra
are both
category is
at
given a
competitions,
transition.
always 2 quite big categories, Newt 4 and 5.
Yeah, they still are, yeah. But I definitely think it helps as a transition through the routines. Because Newt 3, you need a back somersault and a Barani, whereas in Newt, the one below that, what used to be, only had one somersault as a tuck front. So it was a big jump to have those extra somersaults.
Because even moving from doing like a tuck front to a pike front takes...
that's challenging in itself. Because the rotation can be quite different on those. Tuck front tends to spin a lot faster because your body's in a smaller shape than a pipe front.
But we've now maybe got through.
Yeah, so this is Owen, so I imagine we've only got one more after him.
Yes.
And then we'll be ready to get going with the competition again.
And he's jumping very high.
Very high. Yeah, like I say, he's had a very good season this year. Also made Bucks finals as well this year. It's very
We've had
neat.
across Lancaster and York quite a lot of people making Bucks finals.
Oh yeah, it was a very good year for both teams, I think. For sure.
But he's looking very neat in his warm-up.
Very neat, yeah. I think he's got really good form on his swivel hips in particular.
I know
really
he can do
focuses on
an
it.
excessive amount of swivel hips at once.
He can. I think that was his fun fact. I think.
Yeah. I feel like it might have been 100. I wonder if that's a lie.
I feel like you can't do 100 swivel hips. I just don't see that ever happening. I think maybe 20.
Maybe we should make that a category at Roses.
Yeah, maybe I need him to demonstrate it for me right now.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll wait till after he competes. But it's
Might
just
be a
hard to keep your
distraction.
height in that many swivel hips.
And also it gets very tiring.
Yeah. And staying central as well would be hard.
But we're not judged on how many swivel hips you can do. So
no, you can only do one set of swivel hips.
But it looks like Newt 4 is now going to be starting.
Yeah, so this is Libby from Lancaster. She is the first competitor in this category. So
although HD judges aren't there yet.
Oh no, HD judges aren't there, and she started competing.
Maybe it is another one touch.
Maybe
because there's no.
No, I think the HD judges look confused as well. So
I think. Oh, they look like they're HD judging. No, they're not. I don't know what's happening. The other judges are all watching.
We'll see. It might be that the HD judges weren't in place for the start of the routine, which, if it is the case, they've probably got 2 options. They can make her go again, or they could use her HD scores from her second routine. But I imagine there'll be a little bit of a discussion before the next competitor goes on what to do.
Who the panel chair is for this one.
I think it's Charlotte.
Oh, okay.
So I think she's going to talk to Libby now about the situation. I think just because she was the first competitor, she wasn't quite ready for her to compete yet.
Because we have got now the next competitor on the trampoline.
Yes.
Elodie from York.
Yeah. I think Libby might go again, but we'll see. She'll probably go at the end of the flight.
Yeah. But that could be a bit off-putting for her.
Yeah.
It did look like a very neat first routine.
Well, sometimes what they'll do is if they've missed a score, they'll make you compete, but they'll only
score what they missed.
Yeah, so they'll only score for the HG and they'll take her execution score from the first routine, which would be ideal because it was a really neat routine.
Yes.
So
and then that means when she goes again, she could really focus on her HD.
Exactly.
But this is now Elodie from York. Very nice tuck back.
Slight bent legs.
And a slight wobble on the swivel hips.
But we made it round. Slight travel on that backdrop half twist to feet.
But a nice pike front to finish.
A nice pike front, very solid. I'm sure she'll be happy with that one.
Yes.
We'll have another York competitor after this, Lily.
I have noticed with York, a fewer number of the competitors are wearing leotards.
Which is interesting because they do have really nice leotards.
Yeah.
So
obviously it is up to everyone whether they choose to wear a leotard or not. No one has to.
No, and sometimes they can be a little bit uncomfortable. So some
but she
people
has now got off the trampoline, so I wonder if Libby is going to go again.
Like I say, this could just be for a HD score. It might not be for execution score as well.
See if the judges are watching.
Yeah.
They look like they're still watching.
Just double checking the HD scores were there this time. Well, we'll see if they hold up whiteboards with form scores at the end.
Yes. She's still got a lot of height.
Yeah, she does jump really high.
But I also will have to go in like 25.
Neat straddle.
She's got lovely swivel hips as well.
That was very neat going into it. And a lovely pike as well.
Yeah. Slightly wobbly on the backdrop.
But not too much movement.
No, I think if they do take the form score from that, she won't mind.
Yeah, I think they are writing scores down. I think they are taking form scores.
Well, I think that was just as neat as the first one, so I think, I don't think she'll have too much complaint about that.
I think something big's just happened in the volleyball.
There's a lot of Lancaster cheers going on over there.
But who if this will be Lily from York.
Yeah.
But just a bit of a pause before she starts. Probably just sorting out the scores from Libby's.
Yeah,
but she's
ready
now.
to go.
Very quick start,
Very
but
quick.
lovely straddle.
Lovely pointed toes.
A very neat swivel hips and pike.
Slight tuck on the backdrop.
But
Yeah,
a
good
nice pike front to finish.
Yeah. Very central as well.
Yeah.
Very good. We go back to Lancaster next. We have Ellie Bance.
Ellie Bance is very neat.
She is, and she was the DMT champion from Bucks this year.
Very impressive considering she hadn't done DMT before this year and hasn't trained it.
No, I think they went and did a training in Preston one time before Bucks as a little practice.
Very impressive.
Still very impressive, yeah. So Ellie's competed this category a few times at Roses before and has done well every time. So hopefully she can do the same again today.
And she's always incredibly neat.
Very neat, yeah.
And she's someone else who did gymnastics before trampolining?
Yes. So look out for a very nice straddle jump, I'm sure.
Yes.
Good kick out on that.
Yeah, a lovely straddle. Very
Really
neat
good.
into the swivel hips.
Yeah, very tight legs and pointed toes. Bit of a bend legs into that backdrop. But very nice all round.
Ellie's quite unusual because she doesn't have much height when she jumps.
Yeah, no,
but it doesn't ever seem to affect
No, I think
her.
it's just what she's used to. She's comfortable with jumping that high, and
But she looks very happy with that routine.
Yeah, it didn't affect her form score too much.
So next we've got
Sasha
from York.
Yeah, another one not opting for a leotard, which is a shame because I think
York
their leotards
leotards
are really nice.
nice.
We've not seen many of them wear them.
I wonder if they've not got many to share between them.
Probably not, because I think they are quite new. but
Yeah. She's jumping quite high.
She is.
And lovely straddle.
Yeah. Slight bent legs there.
And a nice swivel hips as well. Very neat pike.
Very.
And a nice pike front to finish. And she stayed very central.
She
So I
did,
think
yeah.
that HD score will be very high.
Yeah, I think definitely jumped a lot higher than the ones we've seen so far. So
Yes.
yeah, very
And
good.
she looks happy with that routine as well.
Definitely, yeah.
And next is
Katie.
from Lancaster.
I think Katie's competed at a few races before, so not completely new, but I don't think she competes in the league. So
Yes.
yeah,
But she is also usually very neat.
she is definitely. It's very solid inbounces beforehand. Oh, lovely tap back, very nice kick out.
A nice straddle as well. Very neat swivel hips.
Very neat. Slightly off centre, but she's holding it well.
And lovely pike front
Very
at the end.
nice.
Slight wobble jumping back.
Yeah, but
But-
stayed on her feet.
Very neat overall.
Yeah, very good. I thought that was one of the neatest ones we've seen so far.
Yeah,
It was very
but-
good. Especially the top back. It was a good one.
Again, I think Newt 4 is going to be very, very close.
Yeah. All of them.
I think
call
we've
it
said
today.
that about
Yeah, I know.
everything.
I feel like it's even tighter than it normally is. So, yeah, it's definitely
Yeah.
saying something. So next up we have Isabel from York.
Again, sadly, no leotard.
I know.
We do like seeing
I hope
the
we see
sparkly
another
leotard.
leotard before the end today. Hopefully the elite competitor will be in a leotard.
Yes. But Isabel's got a lot of height.
Yes.
Very
Nice
neat
swivel
going into the
hips,
swivel
yeah.
hips.
Slight bent legs in that backdrop again, managed to get it round.
And a nice pike front to finish.
Yeah, very
I think
solid.
All the pike fronts have been very
solid,
neat.
yeah. Yeah, sometimes the pipe front's harder to land than the tuck front. But everyone's
So
done
we've
very
got
well. Three more.
3 more.
Yeah, so we've got Gemma from York next. And then after that, we've got one competitor for Lancaster, one competitor for York.
Oh,
Oh, nope, so we're not getting Gemma. We're
so
getting
maybe
Owen.
it might have been Gemma and not Isabel for York.
It could have been.
Whoever
Apologies.
was from York.
You did very well.
Yeah.
Sorry if we got your name wrong. So this is Owen from Lancaster.
It's got a lot of height again.
A lot of inbounces.
A lot of imbounces.
Nice
Very
start.
neat kick out on the tuck back.
Very good straddle jump.
Not pointed feet on the straddle, but still very neat, and a nice
Yeah.
swivel hips.
Yeah, I think his legs are very squeezed
They
together.
are.
Slightly loose in the backdrop, but not the half twist feet. He just squeezed that really
And
nicely.
a nice pike front again
Good
to finish.
kick out.
Yeah.
Nice clap to finish as well. I think he's
And
very
he
happy
looks
with that
very happy
routine.
with that.
As he should be as well. It was very neat. Right, and then I think this is the last competitor for the set routines. I think it's Shayna.
Shana.
Sorry if we've pronounced that wrong. She's got a different t-shirt on.
It's a fresher t-shirt.
Yeah.
So we get probably her first roses.
Yes, true. Yeah, it says fresher 25, 26, so hopefully she goes out and enjoys it. Starting quickly.
Neat tuck back.
Yeah. Staying nice and in the middle of the trampoline.
Slight bent legs on the swivel hips, but
yeah,
still
and
looks
arms
quite
are
neat.
slightly bent as well, but
Neat tuck and again
Nice
another
pike-
nice pike front.
yeah,
And
had a
she
good
stayed very
shape in that.
central.
yeah, she'll be very happy
Yeah.
with that, I'm sure, especially for first roses.
Another 10 moves.
Yeah, everyone's done very well.
We've had
impressed.
a nice amount of 10 moves.
Yeah.
It's very good. It's nice
Yeah,
to
it's
see
surprising
everyone
how rare
doing
that
their
can actually be
routines. Yeah.
sometimes.
And now
Right.
we're going back to the beginning for Libby for vol routines.
Yes.
We might
we
not
are.
see much variation in Nuke 4.
I don't imagine as much variation as we just saw in
No.
Nuke 3. I think there's less options for you to do
Yeah.
in Nuke 4 because you can't Barani, so you've only really got the options of front somersaults or back somersaults.
Yeah, I guess people might do 2 pike somersaults
Yep.
instead of a tuck. And
That's true, or a
pike.
straight back. I think quite a few
Yeah.
competitors will do a straight back instead of a tuck front at the start. I think Livy does the same routine twice.
She's got a lot of height to start.
She does.
Starting with a tuck back again.
Yeah. Very neat.
Very neat swivel hips. Slight bend
wobble.
legs, but
yeah.
neat tuck. A nice
Good
pike front
kick out
finish.
as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, she'll be very happy for
Yeah.
those 30 moves she did.
Oh, that's true.
So even more impressive than the usual 20.
Yeah.
Bless her.
And then next
Elodie.
from York.
Yes.
Again, her top says fresher, so probably her first roses.
Yeah. I do like the fresher shirts. I feel like that's something Lancaster could bring in.
Yeah. Yeah. Although I do like the Lancaster roses t-shirts.
I do, yeah.
I wasn't sure I was going to like them, seeing the photo, but they are quite nice.
Yeah. They're definitely nicer in person for sure.
Yeah. Well, it looks like we might have an issue on the other panel that's just waiting to be sorted
Yeah.
before
Hopefully she's not too...
Elodie starts.
she's back on her feet now, so...
Yeah.
Oh, and going.
Might have just
so
been a
awkward landing.
awkward landing.
Sometimes it can sting your ankles a little
Yeah.
bit. I think she's been a bit injured as well, so it's impressive that she's competing
But-
here today. A long wait for
Yeah.
Elodie from York.
And it's never nice when you're waiting on the trampoline,
No,
but
I'm not sure what the hold up will be either.
Neither am I, but
Looks like she's about ready to start.
I wonder if they are just waiting for the other panel to finish warming
Maybe.
her warm-up routine. But
Yeah.
she's starting now. I wonder if we'll see maybe a straight back at the start or probably another
We'll see.
tuck back.
Very quick start. Tuck back though.
Neat tuck back again.
Yeah. Slight leg separation in that swivel hips.
Neat pike shape. Slightly bent legs going into the back drop,
Yeah.
but a nice pike front to finish.
Yeah. For a fresher, 20 moves. Very good.
Yeah.
For sure. I'm sure she'll be happy with that. Next up, we'll have Lily from York. This is another category where I really couldn't call it so far.
Yeah, I don't think we've really, other than the ones that only have one competitor, we've not really had any idea.
No. No, well done, Lily, for winning your category.
Yeah.
I think that's
And
and
Sophie.
Sophie.
Yeah.
That's what we know so far, anyway.
But we're very confident in that, so
Yeah. Yeah, it'd be a shock if it was anything different.
yeah. Again, there is a bit of a hold up before. But
Yeah, well, it's probably a new judging panel. Each judging panel's been slightly different, so if the
That's
difficulty
true.
judge is different, it can take a bit longer.
very neat straddle.
And swivel hips as well.
Yes.
Very good so far.
This is looking like a very neat routine.
Slightly off the middle, slightly towards one side, and a bit of a
But
jump at the end of that pike jump.
I think
but
her
generally,
execution score will be nice and high
yeah,
on that.
definitely.
And she looks happy, so
It's all that matters.
yes. And then next is
Ellie Mance from Lancaster. Now, I think she does a straight back.
I think she
for her
does a
first
straight
move.
back.
So the first routine we'll see with slightly different.
So that will be
difficulty
a
value.
slightly higher difficulty.
Yeah, it's 0.1 more than a tuck back, but generally has less deductions if you manage to keep it straight,
Yes.
because you don't have to have that kick out like you do in tuck backs, which is normally the first move of this routine. Again, she does jump a lot lower than some of the other competitors,
Yeah.
but it seems to suit her just fine.
And she's always very neat, so yeah.
Exactly.
Starting with that straight
yeah,
back
see, she held that really
and
nicely.
a lovely straddle
And
into a half twist to see.
That's worth 0.1 more too as well.
Neat pike. Slight bent legs in the backdrop, but still very neat.
Yeah. Oh, she'll be very happy with that,
Yeah.
I'm sure.
And again, I think another contender for Lancaster's form score.
Yeah, definitely. And yeah, worth 0.2 more than the other routines we've seen so far, without having any extra deductions from what I see as well.
Very neat.
Yeah, very good. So next up, we have Sasha from York.
Again, a slight pause probably while they work out the additional difficulty in Ellie's routine.
Exactly. She's back on the trampoline. looking ready to go.
Just waiting to start now for
Yeah.
Sasha from York.
Yeah, so this is about halfway point for this category's voluntary routines. Nice height again.
Yeah.
Didn't kick out that, but the straddle jump was very nice, and the swivel hips.
A lot of height going into the swivel hips as well.
Yeah.
Very neat pike,
Good line out of it as well. Slightly wobbly.
but very neat coming out.
Yeah.
And a nice pike front.
Yeah,
Everyone's had nice pike fronts.
they have.
And a very sensual finish as well.
Very good. And next up we have Katie from Lancaster.
Oh, I don't know if her vol is different.
Maybe we'll see another straight
I
back.
think maybe. That
That'd
could
be
be a
nice.
guess.
Again, worth 0.1 more than a tuck back. So if you can do a nice straight back, it's definitely worth doing in this category.
But again, we haven't seen any set Bs.
No, I don't think we
Move
will in this
forward.
category. It's got a half twister front
Yeah.
drop, so not very popular at all. And I think a pike back to start, which again,
A lot more
a
difficult.
lot more
than a
difficult. Even
tuck
for the
back.
higher level competitors, it's a
Yeah.
lot harder to kick that out than a tuck back or a straight back.
Another straight
Yeah.
back to start.
Slight leg bend, but not too bad at all.
Neat swivel hips.
Very central.
Quite straight legs into the back drop and a nice tuck. And another nice pike front.
Very nice pike front. I
Yeah.
did like that one a lot.
And again,
Yeah.
I think her HD would have been quite good on
Very
that.
good, yeah.
I think, yeah, this category has been very similar.
Yeah.
I think everyone's had slight wobbles.
Yeah. No one. Yeah. I don't think anyone's had a perfect routine yet, but routines they'll be
Yeah.
very happy with.
So this is either Isabel or Gemma.
Yeah. Sorry.
But
Shame they don't put their names on the backs of their t-shirts.
It would be very
really.
helpful for us.
Yeah.
Quite a few inbounces to start,
Yeah.
but a neat tuck back to start.
Yeah. Nice straight legs again in that swivel hips.
It looks like she's lost a bit of height, but it's still looking quite neat.
Yeah, as long as she has enough of that pipe front,
Yeah.
which she does, and lands it solid, stops
Yeah,
straight away.
again.
Impressive. Very good.
So we've only got now another two competitors.
Yeah, so this is Owen again from Lancaster. I think he does the same set and vol
Yes,
routine.
I think he does.
I did see a video of him experimenting with, I think, a straight back the other day, and it not going too well, so I don't think we'll be seeing that today.
Yeah,
That could have been a tuck back, though, that just went slightly wrong, so
maybe.
we won't see that today, though. He's going to land it
Yeah.
perfectly fine.
Yeah, hopefully. Don't say you.
Commentator's curse is not happening.
He has a lot of height to start.
Yeah, very solid.
And again, like his first routine, quite a lot of inbounces.
Yeah. It's interesting. Some people just go straight away, 1-2 bounce go, and other people take quite a lot
He's
longer.
also choosing to face the volleyball, which is an interesting choice.
I would have chosen that. I always chase the end deck. Oh, a bit wobbly,
But
but it's brought it back.
saved
Oh.
it. Neat coming out the swivel hips and a neat pike.
Yeah. So he's been a bit off balance, but his form actually hasn't really
Yeah.
suffered for it. So he did really well to keep
Yeah.
going. And he's
He
very
looks
happy with that
that.
routine. As he should be.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think it would have been really easy for him to give up or like
Yeah.
get slightly loose, and then it would have all gone a little bit worse than it
Yeah.
did. But no, he managed
And
to
now
keep
we're
it
on
really
to
tight.
Our final competitor in Note 4, Shana.
Yes. I'm rooting for her to get 10 moves, and then we've gone through this whole category for 20
Yeah.
moves for every person, so or 30 for Libby actually.
Yeah. Nice tuck back to
Yeah.
start and a neat
Very
straddle.
nice straddle, yeah.
I think a lot of the shape moves in this category have been nice and neat.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of line outs, which isn't necessarily that common for the lower levels,
But
but
yeah, another nice pike front. And yeah, 20 moves
20 moves.
across Note 4.
That's
which
impressive.
It's good to see.
Yeah, oftentimes you get a few people sit down that pipe front at the end, but they were all really
Yes.
solid. There wasn't even anyone who came close to.
No, there was
not
no
landing it.
wobbling,
No.
which is good
Very
to
good,
see.
very impressive.
And now that is done, we'll be on to the final category, which is Newt Elite.
And Newt 5
has got 2 competitors.
One from Lancaster, one from York.
So that will be a very important category.
30 points going just for that one person who wins that category. So.
And then we have got Newt 5, which has got 3 from Lancaster and how many?
No, 4 from Lancaster, 4 from York.
So another quite even category.
Yeah. That'll be interesting. I think Elite, because there's only one from each category, again, it's worth 30 points. But Elite is one of the hardest categories we compete in, so a lot of people do crash in that category. So it could just be a case of who gets their moves
20 moves.
And I know Caitlin from Lancaster has been injured, so that could play a role in it today. She
might choose to play a bit safer and have a slightly lower difficulty.
Yes, but you can't go that low in this category or you get disqualified. So
how many somersaults do you have to do in Newt Elite?
I think 9. Yeah, so it's quite a lot.
There's a bit of a discussion happening just before this panel starts.
I imagine they're probably discussing one touch.
But still running ahead because this warm-up was meant to be 7:40 to 8:05.
I'm sure everyone will be very happy it's running early.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah, definitely. Very eager to know who's won as well.
Yes. Yeah.
It's a bit frustrating not knowing the scores.
I know. But it looks like one touch. I think I'm seeing one touch.
I think so. I hope so. They've been warming up for a very long time.
They've had a very long time to warm up.
Yeah. I wonder if we could sneak in another interview from anyone. I don't see anyone coming our way, so probably not now. But hopefully at the end we'll be able to get an interview from the winning team.
Yeah, it'd be nice to have a chat with some people to see how they're feeling.
Definitely. Wow.
But
so no one currently on the trampoline?
No, so we're meant to be starting with Newt Elite. We've got Caitlin from Lancaster first and then Neve from York.
Yeah.
Both very... Oh, we've got someone from York. Is that Neve from York?
Yeah, it is Neve from York. So I don't know if we're doing the one touch. Maybe Caitlin has chose not to do a one touch. We did see her look slightly injured in the warm-up, so it'll be interesting to see if she does still compete.
But Neve is looking very neat.
She is. She's been competing this level for quite a while now, I think. So, yeah, she's become quite consistent with it.
Because I believe last year she was competing against herself.
Yeah.
Well, there was definitely no one from Lancaster in Elite last year.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Lancaster tend to have lower level competitors than York. York seem to manage to get the uber elite competitors, but they do train a lot more than Lancaster do. I think York train at least 3 times a week, whereas Lancaster only get 1 training session, so that probably appeals to kind of the higher level competitors.
But we've now got a Newt 5 one touch. This is Maya from York, potentially. And then Lizzie from Lancaster. Yes, I think this is one touch happening.
It is one touch. They are going in order. Oh, we have Owen here, who's just finished competing. Do you want to say a few words, Owen, about how it went?
Oh, that second routine was buns. I'm not gonna lie.
Well, we were saying we think it looked a little bit wobbly in the air, but we don't think you gave up much on execution anyway, because you kept going and kept it really straight.
I came over to my friend, he said, "Oh, mate, you did a tour of the trampoline." Oh, I was not happy about that.
It's not really ideal, but your form score, I don't think really.
I didn't see one of them do a kick out, so I think we might be okay.
No, I think so far we are getting the impression that it's quite an even competition between the two teams.
Rose is pink. Is that?
Yeah, Rose is a pink right now.
They will be red.
Well, we'll see at the end of the day.
We'll see.
So we've got one category left. Have you got anyone you are particularly excited to see?
I want to see Kyle. Whenever someone's struggling with their front flips at the club, I say look at Kyle, because he's just up, flip, down.
Wow, that's exactly how you want to do it.
To his game. It's incredible.
Oh, beautiful. Can't wait to see it.
And then Caitlin, because she's new elite, and that's always fun to watch.
Definitely, yeah. We think she skipped her one touch, so it'll be interesting.
Yeah, she had a pretty hard fall during one of her warm-ups, I think.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's the content, guys. Has it been fun to watch so far?
Yeah, really fun. Everyone's done really well. Lots of 20 to 20. I think Newt 3 was quite a competitive category out of them all.
I think we've said a lot of people could count to the form score, which I think just shows how neat everyone's been.
Yeah.
And everyone's pretty much done 20 moves.
Yeah, there's only been a couple of people who haven't, so it's been very...
Really strong showing from Lancaster.
I think in particular shout out Sophie from York in Uber. I think she did really well.
That was
didn't
incredible.
she? Yeah.
I was HD in that. I was not prepared to see doubles today. But no, that was amazing.
It was, yeah. So, yeah,
Anyway.
quite a good split both ways.
Good chat.
So,
Bye,
goodbye,
guys.
Owen.
Be nice to get some more interviews.
Yeah, so Owen is the social sec from Lancaster.
And next year's president.
And next year's president, yeah.
So,
I think he's excited about that. Be good to speak to some York people, but unfortunately
Yeah.
they're the other side of the trampoline,
Yeah.
so I don't think we'll be catching them right
Yeah.
now. But I'm sure they are happy with how they've performed so far.
Yeah, I think we'll be hearing similar things because it has been good to see
Yeah,
good performances across Lancaster and York.
definitely. Yeah, so this is Kyle. That's the shout out Owen gave him for his front somersault at the end. So that'll be really good to see. Good form so far in this
Yeah.
warm up. He's right.
That was a good
really
front
nice
somersault.
kick out, wasn't it?
And yeah, Newt 5, you don't see that many kickouts.
No, not at all. So Newt 5 routine is actually pretty much identical, like we said, to the Newt 4 routine. So
It's just
rather
got
than
a full twist at the start.
exactly,
And
yeah,
a tuck front at the end.
instead of a pike front,
Set B does have a tuck back in, but
we won't see it
you
today.
don't see anyone doing
Yeah.
set B. It's also got a front drop in, so
I am of the personal opinion set B should be removed entirely.
controversial, but
Maybe
actually
slightly
not.
controversial, but the amount of people who do it, I
Well,
just
they
don't think
sh-
it's worth the
yeah.
paper to write down the scores, to be honest.
Yeah, because I think number one, front drop,
They all have a front drop in.
and then number two, most people feel a lot more confident with front somersaults
Yeah.
before they feel confident with going backwards.
Especially
and
a pipe back. A lot of them have pipe backs set B, and
Yes.
they're really difficult to kick out at 12 o'clock, so you get a lot of deductions. Even if you have a nice shape,
Yeah.
straight legs, you still get at least a 0.3 out of a 0.5
Yeah.
deduction for each move.
So I think overall today we've seen one set B.
Yeah,
Which
one
just,
set
I
B,
think-
Molly from Lancaster.
Yeah. It was a nice set B, but
It was, and at least it was only just a front drop, and it wasn't a half just a front drop.
yeah,
And there was no pipe
that's
back
very
involved.
true.
So
A slightly nicer
of
set
set
B than
Bs to
some of the
do,
other
New
categories.
6 set B would be the only one I would even consider.
Yeah,
But I don't think I'd still consider it either, really. 'Cause
No.
front drop.
we're big front drop haters, I think.
Big front drop haters. It's funny because as a kid I loved them, but then as soon as I started properly somersaulting and Brani, it just, I don't know, got more and more scared of it.
But I think we're now done with the warm up. Oh, no, the one touch.
Hopefully,
So
the HG judges look like they're getting ready to go to panels. So,
yeah, it looks like all the judges are at the panel.
so 20 more routines to watch at this Roses.
yes.
But
And we are still running ahead because this was scheduled to start competing at 8:10. And it's
wow.
currently 8:45.
doing very well.
We're doing
this
very
is unheard
well.
of.
Yeah.
Praise to the
I
Lancaster.
think usually it's quite impressive if you're only like half an hour behind schedule.
Yeah. No, you expect to never be on time.
Yeah.
The schedule is just there.
The schedule's just there
It's just
for,
an order.
for vibes.
It's not actually for times.
But right now we have got Caitlin
From
Mm.
Lancaster, ready to
for New Elite.
compete. Yeah. The real
She
thing.
looked like she had a bit of a wobble in warm up, but
Yeah.
hopefully this routine goes her way.
Yeah, I think it's quite a difficult routine.
But she's got getting a lot of height to start with.
Nice straight back. Slight travel in that straight back, but she's brought it back to the middle.
And it's looking good.
It's looking
nice
really
tuck
good.
back.
Oh, that was an
Oh,
interesting.
that was unusual.
That's not a normal move for a routine. But she did it
was
well.
very neat.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever seen someone do a tuck back to back pull over in a routine before.
But
I don't think it was intentional.
what do you think that will do for her score difficulty wise?
I don't think she'll have met her minimum difficulty. I think there's some requirements in New Elite that you have to do.
It does
crash
look like they're
dive, a
debating
twist.
it now.
Yeah, and I think she did the standard back tummies, Branis, but she didn't do any falls or rudies or crash dives, so
In New Elite, do both routines count?
yes. It's only Uber. Yeah, we didn't say this actually earlier. In Uber, normally only one routine of the two counts. But actually, I think in Roses, we decided to count both routines to make it fair for the form scores overall. Yeah.
But it looks like they are just debating what the score will be.
Yeah, I think she did 10 moves. So I imagine she'll just get
Yeah.
a penalty for being under tariff. But that's
This
really
is-
opened the door for Neve to
Yes.
But
And
given
her
Caitlin
warm-up
was
looked good
yeah,
for
given
Neve.
Caitlin has been injured, I imagine when she did the tuck back to back, she wanted to actually do a full instead of that. But unsure. I can't remember what her routine normally is.
It's now a bit off-putting for Neve waiting to start. But
She is wearing the leotard though.
She
Would
is
you
wearing
get
the
another
leotard.
look
That
at
is
it?
exciting for us.
Yeah.
It's nice and sparkly.
And the matching ribbon. Very
Yeah.
good. Very good.
She's got a lot of height.
Yeah. Starts with that crash dive. Normally we see them end
Crash
with
dive, brownie ball.
Oh, no. This will be interesting then. Neither competitor has got through their routine.
But it was a very nice start, so that is a
It was
shame
a very
for
nice
Neve.
start. And actually, Caitlin did a lot more moves.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting. That will only be out of 2 moves, I think.
It was
so
crash dive, brownie ball out.
yeah, and I believe Caitlin probably got out of 10, but with a deduction.
Yeah.
So that's a real shame for Neve, though, because
Yeah.
she warmed up so nicely. So hopefully she can come on and do her second routine.
Yes.
And show
That'd be
us.
nice to see a good
Yeah,
second routine from her.
definitely.
But now we're moving on to Newt 5. So
This
it's
is Maya.
from York.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel bad for Neve there because she did do a really nice warm
Yeah.
up, bless her. So
But hopefully she'll be able to do a nice second routine.
yeah,
That'll make up
definitely.
for it a bit.
Yeah, she's been at York for quite a while as well. She's done quite a few roses, so hopefully she can end it on a high.
This is Maya starting from Newt 5. A full twist to start and a straddle.
Yep. Solid swivel hips.
Slight bent legs in the pike, but nice pointed feet.
Yeah. And made it round on that tuck
Yeah.
front, so that's good. I
Even
think
though
she
she had
might
quite a
actually
low
be
height, but that
the
was-
first York competitor choosing the non-bouncy trampoline.
That is true. It's been a very unpopular choice.
Yeah, which doesn't surprise me from their perspective because they do have a lot bouncier trampolines than
Yes.
Lancaster have.
I think, yeah, even our bouncy trampoline isn't as bouncy
No,
as
they have
the
a
York.
higher level trampoline than
But this
we
is
do.
now Lizzie from Lancaster.
Yes. She competed last weekend and did very well there too, so hopefully she can do the same here today.
Again, a bit of a delay before starting, but
Yeah.
probably just the judges getting ready.
Yeah, she's getting ready to go now. About to present to the judges. So it's very solid in these jumps.
Yes. Neat full twist.
Nice line out in that straddle jump.
Nice swivel hips. Most swivel hips we've seen today have been very neat, I think.
Yeah. She had a
Slight
leg-
bent legs.
Yeah. Well, nice kick
Yeah,
out
that
as
was
well.
a very nice kick out on the top
I think she's
front.
definitely worked on that throughout this year, for sure.
Yeah.
She'll be very happy with that one.
And kick outs aren't very common in Newt 5, so
No.
that'll do well.
They're difficult for a front somersault to kick out,
Yeah.
especially because they're a blind landing, so you can't actually see where you're going to land until
Yeah.
your feet hit the trampoline, which can be a bit scary. I'm not a fan of front somersaults myself. I would always go backwards any day.
And we now have our next competitor.
Phoebe from York. We're about halfway through this flight now.
And quite an even Lancaster York split, so all 3 places will be contended for. Again, for the less bouncy trampoline, she's got quite a lot of height. Very neat in the swivel hips and pointed feet.
Slight bend legs in that high
Bent
jump
legs,
and backdrop.
but-
Oh,
Oh.
that's a shame. It'll be interesting to see what they do with this front somersault because the judges have two options essentially. They could count it out of 10 moves but give a full point deduction for the fall at the end, or they could say that she didn't quite land the somersault enough to count as a move and they give it out of 9.
I think I just had 9 moves.
That's actually a better from a score perspective because you just don't count the deduction for that move then. So you'll get higher scores if you count it out of 9 than you will if you get it out of 10 with a 4, which is, I think, a little bit of a strange concept.
Yeah,
But
we're
yeah.
not the ones who
No.
are judging.
Hopefully in the second routine she can get that somersault to her feet. It didn't look far off at all.
No.
I think probably the change in trampoline will...
Now I've got another York fresher. This is Zara from York.
Yes. That's a nice present.
Yeah. Slightly wobbly on the full twist, but it's a lot harder than it looks at full twist.
She's got good pointed toes as well.
Nice pike and nice into the backdrop as well.
Yeah. Good.
And a nice somersault to end.
Slight move on the landing, that would be a 0.1 deduction, but generally very, very good.
Yeah, that was very nice.
Yeah, so these competitors in Newt 5, it's the first routine to have a somersault in, so a lot of these competitors will be new to somersaulting, so that front somersault,
it can be very daunting.
Very daunting.
We've now got Amelie from Lancaster. Amelie is very neat.
Very neat. She won Newt. No,
6.
Bucks.
She won at Bucks last year.
Yep. It did very well.
In Newt 6.
Moved up this year to a higher category. But I think they also made Bucks finals this year too, so that's very impressive.
That is
2 years
very
in a row in
impressive,
2 different categories, so.
A lot of height as well.
And very good toe point.
Yes.
That's what I always notice about Amelie.
That was a really nice
Very
straddle.
solid.
And a very neat swivel hips.
Wow, that was very good. First backdrop with straight legs going into it that we've seen so far, I think.
That was a nice bit of a kick out on the front somersault as well.
Yeah.
So that was a very good routine from Amelie.
I think that one will be hard to beat. I think it was really, really neat.
Yeah.
It's a bit of flash photography in the crowd. I don't know if that put her off, but hopefully not.
It's now Owen's favourite person.
Kyle. Yeah. You can enjoy that really nice front somersault at the end.
Yeah. Hopefully it goes as well for him now as it did in the warm-up.
I hope so, yeah.
After Owen's hyped it up like this.
Yeah, I'm sure he's been over there hyping him up beforehand, so.
So he's on the bouncy trampoline but doesn't have as much height, which is a bit unusual.
Yeah, he doesn't do any inbounces, just goes straight forward.
Nice swivel hips.
Yeah. Slight bend legs, but the backdrop
nice
is lovely.
Backdrop. That was really
especially
nice.
the half twisted feet there.
Oh, and a
wow,
lovely
that was
somersault.
beautiful. That was one of the best fun somersaults I think we've seen all day. I think Owen was right to hype that one up.
Yeah, that was
stand out. Well, yeah, it's really difficult to kick out that early in a tuck front. Because you essentially, as soon as you kick out, you're into a straight front at that point, and a straight front is really difficult to land.
Yeah.
So you've got to be really confident on your timing.
So this is our second to last competitor in Newt 5. This is Charlotte from York.
Yes. Another York competitor choosing the less bouncy trampoline.
Yeah. It's been more common in Newt 5.
Yeah. Which is interesting because you'd think they try and jump on one that's more similar to what they have, but it's gone well for them so far.
It's nice into the swivel hips.
Yep.
Nice pike as well.
Nice backdrop. Slightly wobbly.
And a nice front somersault to
landed
finish.
it very comfortably as well. Yeah. Very good.
And she looks happy with that. So
very. Right, so on to our last competitor for the set routine. It's Reese from Lancaster. Reese just moved up into Newt 5 from Newt 6.
And he was also new to trampolining this year?
Yep, I believe so. He won gold last weekend in Newt.
In Newt 5?
I believe in Newt 6, but I might be wrong, it might have been Newt 5.
That's a nice confidence boost to him.
A gold medal in whatever category is a lovely feeling.
Exactly. So hopefully he'll be just as successful in Newt 5.
Getting a lot of height.
Yeah.
Nice pointed toes as well.
Yeah.
A lot of inbounces.
A lot of inbounces. Very neat full twist. Bent feet in the straddle jump.
But swivel hips is very nice.
Nice pointed in the swivel hips.
Better pike jump than straddle jump. Bit bent legs in that backdrop there.
And a nice front somersault.
Yeah, exactly. It's getting a lot of cheers from the crowd over there.
A lot of
very
cheering
popular
from the crowd. I think he's got like a fan club over there, it looks like.
Yeah, big cheer. Probably the biggest cheer we've had all day.
I think so.
Yeah. Which is good because it has got a little bit quiet in here from an audience perspective, but we have been going for quite a few hours now.
Volleyball are warming up, so it's a bit quieter from there as well.
Which is quite nice. Can hear myself think for 2 seconds.
I wonder when they'll be starting again though, because it feels like they've been warming up a while.
Yeah, hopefully they'll wait until we've finished. We've only got 10 more routines to watch.
Or about when we're doing medals and are trying to hear what's happening, that they'll start again. But this is Caitlin doing her second routine
so
in
back to elite now. See if she can get 10 moves.
Yes.
Fingers crossed.
Nice straight back to start.
Yeah,
And straight
Barani.
Barani. Nice pike back and pike Barani.
Very good.
This is looking nice and neat so far.
She's got to the crash dive. Oh, what a shame. 9 moves though.
But
that's an improvement from last time. She
and it
managed
was
to do
very
the crash
neat
dive.
up to that.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure she will be happy with that, really.
Yeah, she should be happy with that.
And doing that Barani ball out at the end of a long routine, it is difficult.
Yeah, and it did look like she was losing a bit of height.
Yeah, but she did really well to keep going as well, because remember, Neve only got 3 moves in the set routine, so it's really important for those points that she gets through as much of that routine as possible. But we're really pulling for Neve now, hoping that she gets those 10 moves.
Also because she's in the sparkly leotard.
Yeah, sparkly leotard, face paint, ribbon. She's gone all in York.
Yeah.
I think she just said 5 moves minimum. Was the hand gestures I just got. I'm hoping for 10 personally.
Yeah, we're hoping for 10.
I feel like she's capable of getting 10.
Yeah. Just a bit of a pause before she starts though, while I calculate Caitlin's score.
They're probably working out whether to go out of 9 or out of 10, but I imagine it was probably out of 9 because she didn't land on her feet. But like I said, out of 9 instead of out of 10 and falling is better for some reason. Right.
Getting a lot of height to start.
Yeah. Ready for her 10 moves.
Yes. Starting with the crash dive, Barani ball out again. This is looking very neat so far.
Very
nice straight
good.
back.
Very in the middle as well, very central.
Definitely. Nice pike back.
Good kick out on that pike Barani.
Another nice tuck back.
Wow. Yeah,
that was a really nice routine.
Very happy for her.
And she looks very happy with
Very happy, yeah. It'll be interesting then between those two.
Scores-wise.
Yeah, because obviously Caitlin didn't get through either of her routines.
Yes.
But she did more moves than Neve did in her first routine.
Yeah, that'll be
so I think
very interesting. But Neve's second routine was
really
very
neat.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I feel like out of 3 moves versus out of 7, it would be hard to catch up. But she could have just done it because that was a really neat routine. So I'm imagining she'll be very happy with that one.
Yeah,
and we're very happy for her.
Yeah, we're now back to Newt 5. We've got Maya from York. In their final routines in the final category.
Yes. It's gone very loud again.
Volleyball has just started again. Nice full twist to start and a nice swivel hips.
Slightly bent legs. Yeah,
And she landed
there
her
very
somersault
nice,
this time. That's always quite a big achievement for Newt 5, making sure you
definitely
land that
very
final
good.
somersault.
She looks quite happy with that
And
one.
it was a nice somersault as well. It didn't look wobbly at the end, which is nice.
Yeah, very good. Right, and we've got Lizzie from Lancaster.
She had a nice first routine.
She did. She had a nice kick out on that front somersault. I remember that nicely.
Volleyball has got very loud again.
Very loud.
But Lizzie is now starting her second routine.
Oh, slightly wobbly, but
she's looking very neat so far and very nice swivel hips.
Yeah, she's got very tight legs.
Yeah.
Slight leg bends.
But yeah,
but
nice
kick out
on the
again.
somersault.
Yeah, HG will be slightly down compared to her first routine, but still 20 moves.
Yeah,
did very well.
Right, now got Phoebe from York.
I like Phoebe's hair. Bit
it
random,
does look
but
nice.
it does look really nice.
It's very neat considering she's been bouncing.
Yeah, definitely.
Sometimes it can go quite staticky from a trampoline.
Yeah, especially long hair.
Yeah.
For sure.
She's got quite a bit of height on the less bouncy trampoline.
She does. She's slightly off balance.
Nice full
good
twist
start.
though. And a nice swivel hips as well.
Yeah, very good.
Slightly
bent
bent
legs.
into the backdrop, but still neat.
And she lands the front somersault, so very good.
Yeah.
She'll be very happy.
And she looks happy with that as well.
Yeah. Next up we have Zara
from York.
managing to concentrate well with all this cheering.
Especially when you're warming up when it's a bit more quiet.
Yeah.
Even though there's not as many people watching volleyball now, it still seems just as loud as when it was really full in here.
And very passionate supporters of volleyball.
Yeah.
But I feel like because it's consistent loud noise, it's not quite so bad.
Slight wobble, but
bit of a leg
she's
flip.
made it work. On a nice swivel hips.
Yeah.
She stayed very central as
She
well.
has slightly bent legs here and there, but nice tuck front.
Nice tuck front.
Keeps it on the trampoline as well, so.
And she looks happy. So.
And York are holding up lots of signs.
These second routines have gone very well in Newt 5.
Yeah, I think
People
generally
are feeling
better.
a bit more relaxed.
Yeah. So next up we have Amelie from Lancaster. Now this was a very neat set routine.
Yes. I wonder if does Amelie do a pike front at the end?
I think she might, yeah.
That will increase the difficulty score.
Definitely, yeah, by 0.1. Slight wobble, but really nice line out of that straddle jump.
It's really neat on the swivel hips.
Yeah. Very good shape jumps in general. And straight legs in the backdrop.
On a kick out, but on the tuck front. Oh, that's such a shame that she fell.
Did she touch the mat? Oh,
She
that's
did.
a shame. So that'll be a 0.5 deduction from each judge.
Yeah.
So that's a real shame because she definitely was in contention for medals.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've seen people medal with a 0.5 deduction before, so you never know.
Yeah, and
We
the
won't know
rest of the
until we see
routine was very neat.
Exactly, yeah, and the set routine was also very neat.
Yeah. And now we've got Kyle from Lancaster.
Yeah, look out for this tuck front.
Yeah. But a bit of a pause while probably they're deciding what to do with Amelie's routine.
Yeah. Yeah, she did land the somersault first, so.
Yeah.
And I don't think it was
quite
a
few
full.
somersaults not landed. So.
Yeah. They could give a full point deduction for each judge, but I think that might be a bit harsh, just personal opinion, because she didn't fully sit down on it. Normally for a full point you need to put all your body weight down.
It was very close to her saving it.
Yeah. So I think she just brushed it and then stood straight back up again. So yeah, we'll see which way the head judge goes.
Yeah, it looks like there is a bit of a debate.
Yeah.
But
We'll
it looks
see.
like Kyle is getting ready to start now.
Nervous wait. And it's gone quiet on the volleyball side, so that could be a bit nerve-wracking.
Yeah. But it looks like we're going to be starting now.
Yeah. Kyle jumps quite low, but
He does.
slight leg bend on that straddle jump.
But neat swivel hips.
Mm-hmm.
A nice backdrop half twist.
Lovely.
A nice somersault.
A little bit wobbly on that bounce, so it'll be a 0.1 deduction at the end, but generally really, really good. So she should be very happy with that. So we've only got two more competitors, one from York, one from Lancaster. So this is the last York trampolinist competing at Roses this year.
Hopefully we'll end on a nice
on a high,
for
yeah.
York.
So this is Charlotte from York.
Just waiting to be told to start her routine.
Yes. Quick
Slightly
start.
wobbly, but it hasn't impacted. And a nice swivel hips.
Yep.
Nice pointed feet.
Nice backdrop as well. Managed to keep her legs straight through most of it.
And a nice
landed tuck
somersault.
front. That's
She
what we want to
ended
see.
nicely in the middle as well.
Yep.
So
Lovely
a
routine
nice
to end on for York.
10-move routine. We're now ready for the final competitor.
Yes,
of
Reese.
Trampolining Roses.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
I feel like it's gone quite quickly, really.
it has.
It has
This
been.
was meant to be finished.
3.5
This panel was
hours,
meant to be
but-
finished
Yeah.
at 25 to 9. So we're half an hour, which
That's
is
impressive.
pretty good.
Yeah, so
But
after
this
this
is
routine,
Reese from Lancaster.
Yes.
Had a very neat first routine.
he did.
And we'll
nice
hopefully
kick
end on a
out.
high for Lancaster. Neat full twist.
Lovely seat drop.
That is
and
a
swivel
really
hips.
nice swivel hips. And a nice pike as well.
Bent legs, but and a bit of travel on that pull.
He saved
He
it.
saved it.
That
Well
was a
done.
good save.
Bit wobbly on that landing, but I'm glad he didn't
that was
touch down.
That was a good save.
Yeah, we'll have a slight deduction, but nowhere near as much as if he fell or put his hands down. So
that is trampolining finished.
it is finished. So we're going to have a little pause.
Wait while the scores are all added up.
Yeah, scores will be added up. They'll pack away the trampolines, and
I
then
have
we'll go
no
towards...
idea who has won.
No, I couldn't call it whatsoever.
I really don't know.
No, I'm not even going to try and guess.
No, I think whichever I guess would just be a complete 50-50.
Yeah, exactly. I think Lancaster could have potentially got the 30 points for the form.
Yes,
Mainly because they had more people for like being able to drop some scores, and that's a big advantage here.
And we have seen that form score make a big difference, but in terms of the categories themselves, they're so close. We really don't know.
Yeah, and I think that elite category could be quite crucial here.
Right, we've now got a bit of an interview with Reese. How did you find that going?
Well, judging that I was in the category below last week, this is a big step up.
Yes.
So I'm glad that it's done. Glad that I landed all the front tucks. That was a very nervous ending, I must say. The clutch came in from the core.
Yep.
I had a great HDer who was telling me to just hold it. So thank you to Ellie Vance for
cheerleader.
that, who is here with us now. Thank you. And thank you for the commentary, guys.
You're welcome. I hope you listen to it back.
Yeah.
Very good. Yeah. Right, so we're going to have an interview now as well from our Lancaster coach. So this is Jonathan. How do you think today went?
I think it went pretty well overall. Yeah. Most people getting 20 moves.
Yeah.
No life-threatening injuries,
That's
which is
fantastic.
obviously important.
Yeah. So. We have seen a sign saying don't disappoint Jonathan. Have you been disappointed today at all?
No, not disappointed. I couldn't be disappointed. Absolutely not.
Very diplomatic answer. Well done.
Very diplomatic.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well done. Can you sense which way it's gone? York, Lancaster. From a slightly biased perspective.
It's very hard to tell. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we've said it's 50-50.
We do have
more competitors,
more people.
Yeah.
But they had a few very tidy competitors.
Definitely.
So depending on how the formulas
work out.
Crunch the numbers.
Yeah, I think it could be a really close competition this year, so we'll just have to wait and see until the scores come out.
Quietly confident, but let's see.
I hope so too. We will see. It could be, I think it could go either way. But I think overall, that's fair enough. Overall, I think the amount of people who got 20 moves, it's been very impressive. I think it's probably been the most I've ever seen in numbers.
Yeah, it'd be nice to talk to someone from York.
It would be, but they're so far away. So unless we recruit someone to go and get them. Yeah. Because we've got a while to wait now. I think everyone's sat down though, so maybe they are doing the scores before they're packing up. They look like that could potentially be the case. But we'll keep chatting to you while we wait. Yeah. You know.
I'm going to just hold a sign up asking if anyone from York wants to come and interview, but they're not looking.
We would like
anyone from York.
Please and thank you.
No one is looking.
Because roses are pink.
Yeah.
But
I think
Richard is looking.
But he might have ignored it. Okay. Yeah. We are now getting someone from York. We would like to have a chat.
I would like a chat.
Isabel looks like she's coming over.
She looks like she's got the scores nearly ready, to be fair.
Okay,
in which case we might not have time. So, yeah.
But Isabel, how are you feeling about Lancaster's performance?
I'm feeling great. We're about to do medals. It's been a really great day. And then after we do medals, I'll come back and have a full chat with you while everyone else sets down, because I think I've done enough work today.
Fantastic. Sounds good.
That's good to hear.
Good to hear. Great to hear. Fantastic. Right, so we are, like you heard, just going on to medals now. Oh, fantastic.
perfect.
You're going to have to shout really loud, Isabel, so we can tell everyone what the scores are, who's won.
But it doesn't look like anyone from York is coming over to interview.
Yeah.
So
Well, hopefully after the competition, after they've read out all the scores, we can have a talk from York and a conversation from Lancaster. Maybe a joint interview. That'd be fun.
yeah, that would be nice actually.
Yeah.
It would be nice to just speak to anyone from York. If anyone from York is listening.
We're very Lancaster dominated over here. I feel like they've taken themselves over to a different corner.
Also, there is a lot of Lancaster people. Like we've got everyone who has competed and friends.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it looks like they're actually going to be quite ready to do medals. I know
Yeah.
last year there was a bit of a delay between.
Yeah, well, normally there is a bit more of a reviewing the scores
Calculation.
and everything, but I think maybe because they had the break halfway through, that kind of helped speed everything up.
But we're running ahead. Good for us.
Yeah, Lancaster getting a nice team photo. There are a lot
With
of
all
them.
the signs.
Yeah, and they've done a lot of signs as well.
They have made a lot of signs.
Trying to read some of them, but
Roses are red. Land on your head.
no,
Okay.
nobody did that, thankfully.
HD is for TV. Classic.
Yeah. Wow. I think we've got some York people coming over for an interview right now. So
That's good.
it's just going to be
Okay.
nice to have their perspective on how today's gone. Because I think they should be very proud of
Yeah,
themselves.
I think so. I think because it's going to be very close.
Yeah. If we can hear them over volleyball.
Right, looks like Em's actually distracted them with a photo.
Yeah.
But
We'll do a quick interview before awards.
right, so now
Hello.
2 people from York joining us. How do you think today has gone for York?
I think there's been a really nice atmosphere. Like everybody's been really like friendly from Lancaster, and everyone's been cheering each other on. So it's been a really nice day, I think.
Do you have any standout performers of today
Stand-up performances
from
I
York
would
or
say
Lancaster?
Lily, our captain. It's her like retirement. It's also her Roses debut at the same time.
Yeah, very
so
good
that
as
was
well.
great. And then Phoebe, who's our president next year, she literally learnt one of the routines like last week, so she did amazing
That's
as well.
very impressive. We were very happy you got 10 moves in the second routine
Me
as well.
too.
We were quite big cheerleaders in the sidelines.
I don't know what happened. I was just like, oh my god, I
Yeah, you
can't do
just
a ball
stopped.
out of I can't do anything off this.
Yeah, no, you did really well. I think ready for awards now, so fingers crossed for York.
Brilliant.
We'll be
Thank
cheering
you.
on.
But yeah, so it looks like we are ready. I presume we'll start with Newt 6 and go up to Uber? Or start with Uber and
Potentially.
go down to 6?
We will see.
Or just go to all
go
we
in order.
competed? Okay, so we're starting with Newt 6.
Okay, great.
Perfect.
Fantastic.
So
New
Newt
6 was our biggest category.
Yes.
There's a lot of them, 12 of them.
Yes.
But only one York in the end, wasn't there?
We've got a
for
lot of
New
people
6?
gathered here now.
Yes.
But yeah, honestly, no idea what's going to happen.
No, neither.
But it is nice that trampolining does medals.
Yeah, and they're really nice medals this year as
Oh, are
well.
they?
I
They
do
look
like the
quite
red
nice.
ribbon on them.
Oh, so even York winning a medal has to be red.
Yeah.
Shame.
Well, as Lancaster are the hosts, we can have some influence on the colour of roses.
Yeah.
But
it looks like the hardest bit is now organising the medals.
yeah, so I think York and Lancaster are going to hand them out together, which is a quite nice tradition we tend to do, and trampolining. So yeah, we'll start with Nuke 6, go up the levels, and then we'll have a top 3 form execution scores across all of the categories, and then we should be able to announce the overall points for the end of the competition.
Yeah. Hopefully we can hear what's happening over volleyball.
Yeah. Starting with Nuke 6.
Abigail from York?
Yeah, Abigail from York in 3rd place, so well done to her. Very good in a sea of Lancaster competitors.
Yes. Beth from Lancaster. She was very neat.
Very good. And 1st place, Ellie from Lancaster. That's a great way to end her really successful season, so I'm very happy for her.
Yeah.
But yeah, they were really
she
good
looks very
competitors. She's very, very happy to win this. She is graduating this year, so it's her first and last roses.
Yeah.
She did very well.
That is very nice.
Getting a nice group photo for the medalists.
Oh, Isabella's not waiting.
In Nuke 5 now. Lizzie from Lancaster. She did a very neat routine. Very well deserved.
Second place is Amelie.
There was
Another
lots
very
of points
nice
going for this
routine.
category. So
Yes.
yeah, that's 30 points for Lancaster in those two places. And Kyle from Lancaster in first
so
place.
that
So
is
they win all 60 points
for Lancaster from this.
That's a big win for Lancaster right there.
And we know Owen will be very happy
She-
about
yeah,
Kyle winning.
well, biggest cheerleader.
Yeah,
That front somersault paid off.
yeah.
Very good.
And now Newt 4.
Third place, Sasha from York.
Newt 4 was all very good.
It was, yeah, very close competitors. Second place is Libby from Lancaster.
Very neat.
Very neat, yeah. First place, Ellie from Lancaster.
She was incredibly
Very
neat, and she
good.
had the extra difficulty in her
Yeah.
routine, which has clearly paid off for her.
So far, Lancaster definitely got the more points, but
Yes.
there's some of the bigger categories to come.
Yes, especially we've got elite
Yes, that'll
and
be
Newt
interesting.
3 as well.
Yep. Newt 3.
Connie from Lancaster, third in Newt 3.
Yeah. This one was a really tight category where they went all out on their difficulty.
York,
Yes. That was
first
Kira
place,
from
Lily from York.
Yeah, so Kira and Lily, top two, the only two York competitors,
Yeah.
and they came first and second. I could have called that today. I knew they were going to be really good, and they really lived up to it. Very impressive
So
from them.
that is 50 points to York from this one.
Yeah, so yeah, they've definitely got... so first place in Newt 2. Surprise, surprise, we called it right. Lily from
Lily.
Lancaster.
We are so good at this.
Yeah, she had a very neat routine though.
Yeah.
And I hope she gets her photo anyway. So
And
now
now on to
Newt
Newt
1. Third place, Richard from York. Newt 1 felt like so long ago.
It did. And I think Em might be getting a medal.
I think
handing off
so.
the camera. In second.
Very good.
She'll be very happy with
Very
that
happy.
after
Only just
recently
moved
moving up.
So yeah, very happy.
Where's she going? Oh, thought she was going to sit back down.
Oh, just preparing some more gold medals.
First place,
Charlotte from Lancaster. Very good.
Yeah. And now on to elite.
Yes, two more categories, elite and
Yes.
Uber.
This will be interesting to see who wins.
Neve
Second
from
place,
York.
Lily from York.
It's a real shame because the second routine
Yeah.
was really neat, but yeah, Caitlin
Caitlin
did well.
So that'll have quite a big impact on scores.
Yeah.
So that is 30 points to Lancaster.
Definitely. Yeah, Caitlin took that hard fall in her
Yeah.
vol routine, but yeah, she did.
I'm sure
she did
yeah.
well to get to that point. So.
And then finally,
Finally, Uber. I wonder who's won
We
this
think
one.
Sophie's going to win.
I think it might be Sophie.
Yeah. I think it might be.
Just a guess. Yeah.
Yeah.
well done. Good job,
Sophie
Sophie.
first in Uber.
Yeah, it was a great way to start the competition with Sophie.
Even if she can't get a medal.
I know. Struggling to sort the medals out
Yeah.
right now. Oh,
Isabel looks like she wants to give up with the medals.
yeah. It's a shame it's the gold medals that are mixed up.
Yeah.
Very good. So we should only have medals now for overall form.
Yes.
Yeah, so Lancaster, they won overall form, and we have a Lancaster win, trampolining.
Yeah.
Roses are red.
Roses are red. Second year in a row
I know.
for trampolining.
Very impressive. Hopefully we'll get an interview with the president.
Yeah.
A winning interview. But yeah, I think it was a very impressive competition. I think,
It was.
yeah, I thought it could have gone a different way. Like, it
Yeah.
was very close. But yeah, Lancaster seemed to get a lot of the first and second places. Yeah. Right, so we're going to have a quick word.
chat with the president, just see what
President.
she's got to say before we end.
How do you feel about winning Roses this year?
I feel so happy. I just so proud to be part of this club. Like, I don't know, even like I didn't even care if we won. Like, I'm so proud that we did, but I just feel so proud to be part of a group of people that are genuinely, like, no matter what's going on, like, everyone just cares about each other so much. And I've had so much fun being part of this club. And yeah, I'm gonna cry now because that's the last time.
Can we have some words on York and their performance today?
Amazing. York, like, especially the new 3 York girls, they were so neat. And yeah, like, they were just a great opponent to end on.
Can you finish us up by telling us the overall score point-wise? Because we didn't hear that when we were announcing the result.
So the overall score was 70 points to York and 270 points to Lancaster.
I think that could possibly be the biggest margin we've ever had. So, which is surprising because we weren't saying we weren't sure because everyone was very neat.
I was so unsure. Like, even while I was judging, I was judging Newt 4 and Newt 5, and I had no idea who was going to win either of them. Like, they were so close. So yeah, I'm just really, really impressed by what everyone's done today. And yeah, I don't know what else to say.
Well, big congratulations.
Yeah.
We're very happy for you,
Very
happy for Lancaster. Yeah, I think you've done yourself proud, and yeah, well done today.
And, like, what other club brings their teddy bears to watch Roses? Like, there's so much love here, and yeah.
And you've lived up to your Roses Team of the Year from last year.
Yeah, I'm going to put us in for it again, so I hope that we have a fun night of sports awards again. People should be setting down the trampolines, but they're not.
I think everyone's still celebrating their win. So
I want to go to my house and then to Sugar to celebrate. So if they could get on that, that would be really nice.
Okay, well, we'll leave you two packing it up. Well, okay, we'll leave you.
We'll just leave you.
Yeah.
Can I get a photo, please?
In a moment. Right, so I want to say a big congratulations to everyone who competed today. I think it was a very even score.
Yeah.
And yeah, thank you for
listening to us talk for
for
such
many
a long time.
hours and sticking with us.
Yeah.
Yeah.